Well, I can think of no better way to start this off than to use a time-honored phrase. How do you do, fellow kids? Because guess who finally jumped on the Persona 5 craze? Yeah, that'd be me, thanks to Steven, because that was his pick for one of our cycles of Anime Club. But before we get into that, welcome back to Off the Balcony after a long hiatus. Not even a hiatus per se. It's just we've been so busy with life lately that
keep forgetting to record.
Getting into record has been somewhat difficult, but I think things are kind of slowing down a little bit. That we can actually start, giving our thoughts and opinions on anime and sort of all the sort of stuff that we talk about. And also, we've been playing an unhealthy amount of golf, I would say. We actually just got back from the golf course.
I swear to God, I'll put the rest of our 2023 season up, I swear.
Oh, yeah, with the golf videos. And don't worry about the episode that we are playing, that we're recording today. We filmed the golf episode to that. So we might try to make that a package deal at some point. Might try to connect them together. We'll see what happens. But
oh, no, this is coming out way before that fucking golf episode.
I know that. So if you guys want to say how you guys are doing.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just ready to record. Excited to be back in here. We reorganized the space, actually, to where we can have more room for activities.
We have so much more room to do activities. But yeah, folks, the room looks really nice. And I gotta say, I'm just excited to talk about all of the stuff that we've been watching for the past couple of months.
Let me check the list. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to talk about.
6 anime shows that we have watched over the course of the past couple of months. Plus, we've watched some sort of extracurricular stuff related to Love Live. So all of our fans in the Love Live Discord, keep on the lookout for that.
I bought a bunch of Blu-rays of Muse's concerts, which we've been watching as a group.
Yeah, and we will certainly get to those because those are... Actually, do you want to just start with that, just to kind of ease folks in?
Sure.
Okay, so sort of like what Hannah was describing there, she bought a bunch of Love Live concerts off of Surigaya, which is a Japanese retailer. And I gotta say, as a maybe not, I can't even call myself a casual fan of Love Live anymore.
Now that you've gone down the pipeline of standing the seiyus.
Yes. Well, and the reason I stand the seiyus now, especially Shikako, I love Shikako. For anyone who doesn't know, that is the seiyu of Hanayo. And the reason for that is the concerts, because I gotta tell you that as a fan of live music, especially live albums from big bands, I was
Oasis.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about the Oasis one.
None of the Muse seiyus are cussing each other out on stage.
Not yet, they're not.
Or maybe we just don't understand it in Japanese. But in any case, I gotta say that as a fan of live music, I just don't understand why Muse isn't touring more. They are just they are so good.
I mean, Muse has disbanded.
I know, but I
would the injury thing. That's what I had to say.
The injury thing. What are you talking about?
Nanjo, the seiyu of Ellie, fucked up her knee during one of their practices. So,
oh no!
Yeah, that's part of why. I think that's the big reason people think why they disbanded is
because she just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah,
I guess you could say they needed to.
Oh my god!
I think there are a lot of songs during the final concert that she's just sitting out of.
Hannah just going right over my joke.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I didn't want to dwell on it.
Meanwhile, yeah, this has become a thing. Steven will say a really lame joke to get Hannah to laugh, and then you'll just hear me off to the background just wheezing.
And I'll just be stone-faced.
Yeah. I do that wheeze from Jurassic Park when it's Wayne Knight at the restaurant in Costa Rica, where he's just like that whole thing when he says something really dumb. But anyway, getting back to the Love Live concerts, yeah, I gotta say, I was blown away by how good they were, because like a lot of these artificially constructed kind of acts, they might sound good on album, but they doesn't really translate well
The live setting.
to the live setting, and that happens all the time with like certain like boy bands during the early 2000s. Like a lot of those acts were constructed just to push out an album, but they didn't really mesh well on stage. This is like total opposite. They have great chemistry on stage. It's clear because I should point out that these concerts aren't translated into English in any way.
Yeah,
there's no dub, there's no sub.
Yeah, so we can't really understand what they're saying, but yeah, we can tell that like during the little talking portions, they're just friendly riffing on each other.
Yeah. They're like, you're not missing anything by these things not being subbed or dubbed. But I will say that it kind of adds to the charm a little bit, because during the interlude sections of these concerts, you kind of get a sense of what the dynamics within the group are, and it's really fun to see them sort of play off of each other, and as kind of a bigger point, the songs that they play are obviously the ones in the Love Live show and the Love Live albums, but they sound so good in live action, and we should talk about like what some of our favorite moments from the concerts are. Hannah, would you like to go first?
And I thought it was really cool watching the first live, their concert from 2012.
Yeah,
it's so cool seeing where the franchise started compared to how it ended. Where like their 2012 live is kind of like a smallish venue. It's like maybe fits like maybe 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And then get to their 2016 live, their final live, where they fill up the entire Tokyo Dome.
I want to point that out because I was so impressed. Like, you could actually track their growth through the concert videos, and their growth was insane if you think about it.
The 2013 live, the second concert of theirs I got on DVD because I couldn't find the New Year's live, but their 2013 live, it's right after season 1 of the anime aired, and you can tell that's when they're really upping the venues.
Yeah, not only that, there was a really sweet moment in the 2013 live concert where
it's like right before they do like their final song, like before the encore.
Yeah, and they announced that season 2 is coming down the pipe, which to us doesn't seem like a big deal because like we are, season 2 has been.
Yeah, I think I showed you guys Love Live around like 2020.
2022 is when you first showed us that.
And I got into Love Live around July 2015, so season 2 had already come out when I had seen it for the first time.
Yeah, so it was old news by this point. But apparently season 2 of Love Live was like an up in the air thing where it's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
The Seiyus didn't know. It was
yeah,
a thing.
I can't really speak to what the details on the story is. If you two have any other knowledge on that, go ahead.
But it might have just been a thing where just nobody on staff told them, like they just wanted it to be a surprise for them. So
okay, well,
so then they did that thing where like all the Seiyus just turn over to that big screen behind them, and then they just show off a little teaser trailer saying like season 2 coming later that year. Then all of them start crying.
Yeah, on stage, like it was a really like intense. It was a really intense moment, like in a wholesome way. Like they were just so relieved and happy that this show that they were making was going to continue. And yeah, I really enjoyed that like kind of human moment where it's like, okay, this, like clearly this mattered to them. This wasn't just like a gig that they were. No, apparently they all really loved being a part of Love Live.
Well, they started Love Live. They wanted their franchise to continue like anyone else would. So.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get it. It's just like you kind of like over here in America. I'm gonna make a lot of comparisons to like kind of the boy band industry because that's kind of the only
like reference point we really
yeah,
have
that's
here.
the only reference point that I really have. And over here in America, it's very like artificial. It's also artificial in like Britain, like where you have acts like the Spice Girls and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like here we get a lot of stories afterwards, like especially now where it's like people in boy bands and stuff like hated their time in the group.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, or
like, didn't like each other, didn't like the people they're working under.
Yeah, and there was like one guy here in America who was like in charge of like every boy band. His name was like Lou Pearlman or Lou.
Yeah, I think I.
Yeah, I mean, I think he went to prison not too long ago. I don't know for what, but I'm not trying to spread rumors or anything. This is just kind of like what I remember reading. But like you know, you kind of had these sort of artificial creations. Love Live, I don't exactly know how Love Live actually got put together, but it feels far more organic. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's like I mean, from I have heard like stories like from Aqua stuff. Like apparently they've like told stories of how the casting process went.
Yeah. Do you have any like what kind of stories?
Kind of seems like they like got pictures of the characters and that they just kind of just auditioned like for what characters they wanted. Like I think Chica's voice actress Anchan said that she originally auditioned for Hanamaru.
Okay.
Ended up getting Chica, and Arisha, the voice of Daya, she went for Daya just because she looks like Daya. And apparently, I don't think Ruby's said who she was auditioning for, but apparently during the casting process, during the dance portion, she messed up and started tearing up, and apparently that's when they decided to cast her as Ruby, just because they decided Ruby would do that.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Happy little accidents and all that.
Yeah.
Which is funny to me because if you actually hear Ruby Seiyu sing in her normal voice,
yeah, her solo career is just modern city pop.
Yeah, I mean, and she's fantastic at it. She really is.
You'd hear like this season she played a role in an anime called Astronauts, which I haven't seen yet, but you know she also sang the OP for it too, and like that is a really good song.
So yeah, to kind of go back to back to the Muse concerts. I looked up the venues that they were playing during their later shows, like 2015, 2016.
Like the Saitama Super Arena?
Yes, that one stuck out to me because I looked up who else has played the Saitama Super Arena. For reference, this is a venue that held about 36,000 people at capacity. And Steve and Hannah, if you want to dispute this, but do you think it was filled to capacity?
More than likely.
So. I mean, I do know their final live. It actually says on the wiki that they filled it.
And that's capacity. Like twice the size of the Saitama
it's
arena.
Like 60,000.
Okay. So. Okay, that makes sense. But I looked up who has played the Saitama arena in Japan before, and it's like a who's who of bands that I love.
It's like Madonna.
Madonna's played it. U2. Guns N' Roses, like big, like stadium acts.
So you could have had your dream of Guns N' Roses and Nico performing together.
Yes, that would have been amazing. Which is funny because Guns N' Roses have played the Tokyo Dome as well, and it's like if I had a nickel for every stage that Nico Yazawa and Axl Rose have played on, I'd have 2 nickels.
Which isn't a lot, but it's crazy. It happened twice.
Yeah. And but when you watch the lives, you totally get like why they fill arenas because their shows, they feel almost magical in a way. Like the music's so good, the girls are really, really into like what they're doing, and I don't know, it's just a real pleasure to watch. Steve and Hannah, like, do you have any like favorite moments from the live concerts?
It's gonna be tough for me to pick a favorite.
Here, while you're picking a favorite.
While you're thinking about it, I like to see how people like start to fit into the roles, like maybe a bit physically, because it's like you can see the dedication through one and the next. Like they try to act like the character a little more, or they try to fit more into the part. I like seeing Soromaru.
Oh yeah, Soromaru is great as
Like
Nico.
there's her little call and response thing to the
Oh.
audience. Is like, okay, ready, Nico, Nico,
And
so
the whole
crowd.
The entire crowd with their pink light with the pink light sticks just go off with it.
yeah.
I also love her BBB.
Oh yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah,
And
she-
Maki and Ellie say you're just dying laughing.
Because well, Hannah could probably explain what the actual bit is. Like, could you explain to them
Yeah.
like what the bit
like-
actually is?
It's like BB's little call and response, just hyping the audience up thing where instead of Nico going bee bee, and the whole crowd responds back bee bee. Then she just gradually just adds more to it. Bee bee bee, bee bee bee, bee 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 bee,
Yeah.
bee 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 bee.
And
Pyle and
who plays Ellie?
Nanjo.
Pyle and Nanjo just start dying laughing.
Yeah.
They keep adding more and more and more. And they're trying to see how
They
long it
just
goes.
can't keep up.
Yeah.
No, they just gotta lose it. It's great.
And like, but I love that you pointed that out, because by the 2015 live, they really do like embody their characters in more ways than one.
Oh, speaking of that, we're gonna more than likely get to be able to watch those DVDs because I'm going to commandeer PS2.
Oh yeah, when I was buying all the discs off of Surugaya, I got Blu-rays for almost everything except for day 2 of the 2015 live and day 1 of the final live. I ended up getting DVDs for those and had no idea DVDs were region locked but not Blu-rays. So we were just gathered all to watch day 2 of the 2015 live, and then the DVD player wouldn't play it.
So that's why I figured I'd have to get something older than a PS3 because the PS3 is Blu-ray compatible but region locked.
Yeah.
So since the PS2 that I got came out in like 2000, like early 2000s,
Oh yeah.
it should be able to skip the region lock part. Especially since
Yeah,
it's
because
made Sony.
I don't think they started putting the region locks in until about 2009.
Oh, then we're solid because the PS2 came out in like 2000 and I don't know.
No, it came out in 2000. I guarantee you,
The
it came out.
PS2 is as old as me.
I'm a triple check right now. Steven's live checking.
I mean, if you really wanted to be sure, we could try to play it on a PS1. I
have
saw
one
that
of
you. I know. I saw you had, because one day.
March 4th, 2000.
Oh, a few days before I was born.
Yep. So yep. Actually,
That's
so
Hanamaru's birthday.
Japan
Aw.
on March 4th and October 26th in Europe and North America.
So, real funny story. One time, I was convalescing from a hangover, or no, I was probably drunk at the time.
Mm-hmm.
In Steven's basement, and he lives out on this like big farm and everything. You know.
Well, my parents do. We now Hannah and I moved into an apartment in
Right.
College Town.
Right. And so I'm down in the basement. I'm just loopy out of my mind, like, and then I look over, and then suddenly I start to sober up a little bit. Like, what the fuck? Is that a PS1? Because like a lot of folks gave those away when the PS2 came out, and like you just haven't seen. Like I haven't seen one before I started coming over to your place. I hadn't seen one in like 10 years. Easy.
So that was the first console I ever got.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
The very first game that I ever played was Need for Speed, Need for Speed 300 Grand.
Oh my god.
Is that where your love of cars came from?
Oh, that's thanks to my uncle.
Mm.
But yeah, that
Is
didn't
that
stop.
just where it started?
Yes,
But
and
yeah,
that's why I'm rebuilding an Imperial.
but yeah, seeing that PS1 really sent me back. But anyway, tangent of a tangent.
I think
But the PS1 can't play DVDs though.
Can I say what my favorite? I know, and that is well, DVDs were just coming on when the PS1 was.
But the PS2 can. It was made in 2000.
Yeah, it sure can. So anyway, my favorite moment, and it's a very specific moment, in these sort of Love Live live concerts, is when they perform the song Love Wing Bell
Oh yeah, it's during the 2015 live.
Yeah.
or-
at the Saitama Arena.
Yeah, they took advantage of some of the crazy things the stage can do, like the moving platforms and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone knows this, but for the one or two of you who don't, Love Wing Bell is a song in the second season of Love Live where basically Reen has to be the center for a song that she doesn't necessarily feel comfortable
They dress her up in a wedding dress, and she doesn't like to be all in the girly stuff.
Yeah, apparently she got bullied for being girly childhood, so she's not used to it.
Yeah.
So she wanted Hanayo to do it, but then at the very end they revealed that like she's gonna be the one to do it, and she says, You're gonna be so cute. I want you to be my bride.
Yeah.
Which is where we got the still of Reen saying "I'm not like other girls," which made it into a video from one of our favorite YouTubers.
What
Ailerus. It was not like other girls. 7.
Fuck, has Ailerus?
Yes, he has uploaded. Yes.
Okay, because it seems like he fell off for a while.
The reason why he takes so long is that he does a series called Morbid Reality.
And
that would make
does
sense.
A lot of research for those
Yeah.
ones.
Like this one took 2 weeks.
I watched one of his Morbid Realities. I said, this is a really, really good video. I'm never watching this again.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, Lovewing Bell, great moment from the Love Live show. It's, it's kind of like the standard bearer for Reen Pana shippers.
It's like there's a scene where they have the big stage and then like a little walkway and then to like a big circle stage, and like Reen and Hanayo Seiyu's actually just lock arms and walk down the aisle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is weird because it's like, wait, is Hanayo Reen's father? Never mind. But in any case, I really love that because like what Hannah was saying, they do a lot of cool because the stage can actually lift up and it actually becomes kind of like a wedding cake. So they put Reen's what's her name? Reepy?
Yeah, that's her little nickname, but Riho Ida's her real full name.
Okay, so they put Reepy at the center of this thing, and she rises up, and it actually becomes like
so she looks like the top of the cake.
Yeah, which is like a cool thing that they didn't do in the show, but you could do in like a live action setting.
It actually does make sense for the 6 people on that, because then you actually have an evened out triangle.
Yeah, that's right.
And Reen and Maki on the second ones, because
it was Hanayo Maki.
Yeah, Hanayo and Maki.
He's different.
Oh.
Oops.
Which also makes sense in the context of the song, because in the big center parts, Reen says a line, then Hanayo says a line, then Reen sings another line, and then Maki sings the other line.
Okay, that makes sense. And the thing I like about Lovewing Bell, especially in the live action show, is because it gives Nico a chance to do November Rain. She's literally
dressed in a suit.
Yeah, dressed in a suit. Oh, November Rain. Nico over there, she finally got to do some Axl Rose stuff. But yeah, that by far my fit. Like it's the best put together moment ever. Like it looks like they just pulled this straight out of the show and recreated it on stage. I would have loved to have been there because it must have been a special moment for like Love Live fans.
Yeah. I think another one of my favorite moments might be when the 2013 lives and they did the second subunit singles and listened to Natsu or Naide, that one BB song that he said sounded like it would have been in the Leah single.
Oh yeah.
It's like I kind of just want to go on just some like music message board somewhere, just post like the Ellie solo of that, and it's like so like before Leah's passing, she was getting very big in Japan, so she was gonna break through to the Japanese market. This was gonna be her release.
Well, that's what I said about Toy Doll from Mia Taylor. It's like, bruh, if I had a time machine, I'm wasting my one shot, taking it back to 2003 and saying, "Yo, Avril just dropped a new single," and just see how many people would bite. Because it sounds like an Avril song. It really does.
They just put that on Napster.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. That'll get Avril's attention real fast. Well, actually, it'd be funny if it got Lars's attention before Avril's.
with him basically refreshing Napster like everyone refreshed Facebook back then? Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, so yeah, that's basically all I have to say about the Love Live concerts. We're going to finish with probably what's going to be a very emotional watch for us.
When we get to day 2 of the final live, maybe even day 1 of the final live, it's just going to be like, okay, we're just going to be taking bets which one of us will start crying first.
I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. Love Live has made me cry before.
Yeah, that train station scene in season 2, I think we all started crying.
Yeah.
Well, not me, because I wasn't there when you guys viewed it for the first time.
What about the second time?
Almost.
Okay.
I think I've actually...
I was like, I know you've watched it.
I know, yeah, because Hannah did a rerun of it since I was new to the club, and you guys were like, hey, we can show Steven all of our old pics.
Yeah.
I had to get you into Love Live now.
Yep.
Which is funny, because the day we finished watching, we had one more episode of Love Live to watch, and then we jumped straight into my pick, which was Serial Experiments Lane.
Ricochets everywhere.
Yeah. And they're watching Serial Experiments Lane, and I'm just sitting there like, what? Wait a minute, Hanyo took over the Love Live club? Or wait, became the president of the club.
Yeah, Nico passed the torch over to Hanayo.
And Reen became the center of the...
Yeah, Reen became the new Honoka.
Which is kind of funny, because that's why she was the center of Love Wing Bell.
Yeah, it's like
in the show, that's how
her to take over after.
Yeah, which is funny, because it's like the whole conflict of the Love Wing Bell episode could have been solved if Honoka had just planned ahead even a little bit. But she ended up getting like...
Yeah, the second years went on a class trip to Okinawa and then got stranded there by a typhoon.
Yeah, which is funny, because when my stepdad was in the Navy, the same thing happened. So, typhoon-prone region. Anyway, so I think we've said our piece about the Love Live lives.
We'll let you guys know more after we finish up the concerts.
Absolutely.
And after we've cried our last tear, because we will dehydrate ourselves with it.
And then we'll rehydrate ourselves with alcohol. Actually,
and then start crying again.
Yeah, that's going to make the crying worse, but...
We can light our tears on fire.
Oh, this is really cool. Oh, it's so sad.
The lighter's too close to the face.
Me watching anything from Love Live. I'm so sad. I'm so fucked up.
But other live events that a couple of us in here have been to, we went to Illinois GameCon yesterday.
Oh yeah, me and Steven did.
Yes.
The little local video game con happening.
Oh yeah, tell me about how that went. How did it go? Because me and Heather were kind of out of contact going to the ball game and everything.
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean, wasn't really that much to do.
It was really just either you. So there was the entrance room, which was the tournament room. They had like Guitar Hero, Smash Bros, and Mario Kart.
We watched a little bit of a Guitar Hero tournament while we were waiting for the wrestling show.
I was going to say, you mainly showed up for the wrestling show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the local wrestling promotion that we talk about a lot here, they did a little thing for the GameCon where they dressed up as Super Smash Bros. Characters.
I know.
Some of the wrestlers showed up for that just as... And then they did a few little fights.
And who showed up? Like,
so we had
Link versus Sora was the first round.
Yeah,
but like who were?
So
I
Link.
know Shane Boucher was. Link.
Okay.
Sora was a guy from probably another circuit that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Oh, so this was his introduction.
Yeah, he posted it on Instagram, but I didn't recognize him from the pictures or anything, so he's probably new to Iron Spirit or just hasn't wrestled in town.
Okay. Probably no.
And then it was Pikachu versus Nass.
Which I think Pikachu was that one Latin guy.
Yeah, the guy who makes people dance.
Oh, okay.
I forget his name, but he's great.
Yeah, and then
Nass, I think it was Saban Gage.
Yes.
The Japanese-looking guy that has his hair in the bun.
Okay.
And then it was Bowser versus DK.
And DK was that long-haired guy from 815.
Oh, nice!
And then Bowser was the alpha guy from... the one that I kept shouting beta at and made Wade die every time I did it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sounds like a great card.
Yeah.
And then
the main announcer was that one girl ref, she was dressed as Peach for it.
Oh, DB wasn't there for it?
Oh, DB was there.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
He was a main ref, but the girl ref was like the announcer for it.
Oh, that's cool.
It was kind of weird.
Cool.
We were coming up, but you decided to get there like 30 minutes early to make sure we had a good spot, and we did. But it was kind of weird because we saw DB working the ticket stand. I'm like, that's just out of his ref clothes. I'm like, that just feels weird.
Yeah, he's a really good promoter. Like, he's really good at like being the kind of announcer guy. But from what I understand, like I've talked to Mark about this, like he does everything. like good wrestling promoters do.
Okay,
Like,
wait, pause. Are we talking about DB being the the kind of
Guy in the suit,
the bald
Vince.
guy who.
Oh no, it wasn't DB. It was it was like the main ref.
Oh, the main ref. Yeah.
Yeah, it just felt weird to see the main ref out of DB wasn't there for this. I think he was probably off doing something else. It was run by the sound guy, and his wife who does the
Ticket
tickets.
sales.
Yeah, ticket sales.
Okay.
And then it was main ref. I'm sorry, we don't know your name.
I mean, even though he's been at like every show,
Every show. But
like never missed a night. I've never seen him.
I
not...
kind of feel bad calling him DB now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then it was.
I feel like besides the wrestlers, they don't really announce anybody's names.
They announced them. They announced the wrestlers. They announced the ref names when they first show up, but I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah.
They don't really promote them that much, so.
But they work just as hard as the wrestlers.
They do.
They really do, and they help sell it.
I wonder if
they've taken hits before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hard hits too. In fact, the ref you're talking about took like one of the hardest hits I've ever seen a ref take before. I think he got like roundhouse kicked by.
I mean, you have told us before that like sometimes people do ref work as getting a foot in the door
Yeah.
for wrestling, so
They sure
I'm sure
do.
Those refs probably have trained before.
Yeah, that's actually how Jake the Snake started. He started by reffing.
Nice.
And he said that it's the best way to start because you get a feel for it and you learn how to like read other wrestlers. Like you learn how to, figure out like what the other guy's gonna do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he reffed for several years before he actually started wrestling professionally.
Yeah. But so the matches how they went out is it was Link versus Sora. Link won. Then it was Ness versus Pikachu, and Pikachu took it. So many of them just went under the ring and just crawled around under the ring.
Oh yeah, so when Ness went underneath the ring and had like Pikachu looking for him, and then eventually he just went backstage, then grabbed the detective Pikachu gear, and was looking around with this magnifying glass.
He took like 3 pictures of people with the magnifying glass in their face. It was great.
Nice.
And then there's like this to say off to our right side there was a kid with like a long sword with like one of those pool noodle swords. Like
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
like there are
the-
a few times where the wrestlers just grabbed his little pool noodle sword and hit the other
One-
wrestler.
It was once a match. I think Link grabbed it the first time, then it was Ness who grabbed it the second time, and then DK took it the third time.
Nice. So, and who won the last match?
Peach.
Yeah,
Peach won.
yeah, they did a thing where Bowser just took her and then like chained her to the,
Changed her to his side of the ring.
and then just eventually just while they were fighting, she said, "I'll save myself," and then broke the chains and then got in there and just punched both of them.
She did 2 double choke slams. Was great.
God damn.
The funniest part was apparently on one side, I think there's like a mostly kids side on our left side, and some guys were sitting behind there, and when we were trying to get ready to go, I eavesdropped on the conversation. This guy's like, "Dude, you missed the best part." Once Pete started getting in the ring, started beating up DK and Bowser, this kid started to cry. It's like, Pete!
Oh, that poor kid. But it's like, this is wrestling, son. But okay, no, she deserves that because she took one of the hardest hits I've ever seen a ref take. Do you remember that?
Was it during an 815?
Yeah, it was at the outdoor part.
Yeah, the outdoor. She took a hard hit. I know it wasn't fake, I know it wasn't real because of the way they react.
Yes, they obviously scripted. I think 5 times the refs get hit, they script those
Yeah,
out.
and when and let me tell you, folks, because this is something that we haven't discussed on the pod yet. You know immediately when it's a real incident.
Yeah, back at the show in February, was it? Where
Yeah.
One of our favorite wrestlers, Sean Galway. Like, here's a match with him versus Dante Leone, and
A good match, by the way.
yeah, that he jumped off and then landed on Sean, but must have did it wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just immediately Dante ran out of the ring to get help, and Sean just screaming in pain.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he wasn't screaming for that long. Like he handled it like more than like I mean, I'd be a fucking wreck, but Sean over there was just handling it. But like you know immediately like when it's real and when it's fake. And
their current champion right now, Craig Mitchell, where his whole character is just being like a playground bully type guy, and so just seeing him just break characters, being super concerned.
Yeah, and me and him.
I'm gonna say, speaking of which, he's not the champion anymore. That boy got taken out due to injury.
Yeah, but it wasn't an injury in the ring. It was like a mounting problem that he was I think it was like his knees or something.
And then it just finally snapped.
Yeah.
Well, not literally.
Yeah.
Thank God, but.
Yeah, but like I need to take a break, let the tissue like reheal, or else I'm just not going to be able to do this. But
and then I can mock him when he comes back.
Yeah. yeah. But which is funny because me and Craig Mitchell shared like a very therapist moment together. You remember that?
Oh, I was right next to him. Yeah, that was great.
Like, who do you think you are? Like, I don't know, man. And Craig was just like, fair answer. It was great. Craig's great.
I remember that show. He's like my favorite part of it. He was like saying, "Man, I like it when no one comes here. I can be more personable with the crowd."
Yeah, because it was right before spring break, and I think a lot of people were just out of town.
Yep.
For it. But yeah, I'm glad that y'all had fun at the Game Con.
Yeah, the vendors hall was nice and had a lot of stuff.
There's one booth that had some Japanese games, and I saw one of the really bad Love Life PS Vita games.
Yeah, what exactly is wrong with that game?
I don't know.
Cursed.
Just a lot of people say a lot of people say the PS Vita games are bad. I mean, probably just because they released 3 of those little PS Vita games, but divided them by subunits.
Okay.
And they probably made the same thing, but 3 times.
Yeah, except just each game you either play as Honoka Kotori Hanayo, one game Umi Ri Nozomi, other one Nico Eli Maki.
Okay.
And then
I think you had the Umi.
Oh yeah, I saw the Lily White version was the one they had there.
With the Nagato game in the background too.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. Whoever took that photo, that was...
Also at that same booth they had the Nichijou game too for $100.
That's like complete $100.
Yeah, that's how much it was at the Game Con in Peoria. Which, the thing is, I love Nichijou. I don't even know what a Nichijou game would...
According to Wikipedia, apparently you're an alien working for Galaxy TV trying to make scenarios to keep ratings high for the Nichijou TV show.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's kind of fun, but like...
just makes me want, what would the gameplay even be for that?
Yeah.
Or just see characters walking by and just setting up props.
It would remind me of Drawn to Life, probably, if anyone remembers that game.
Okay.
Yeah, I played that game a lot as a kid.
Yeah, it was good.
So anyway, speaking of video games, why don't we jump into the anime portion, because we have watched...
the first show on our docket to talk about.
Yes, and it's a show adaptation of a video game that Steven and Hannah really love. I have never played. It is...
You don't have the console for it?
Yes, I don't have the console for it, nor do I have the time for it. But anyway...
It is like 100+ hour game.
I am 112 hours and I haven't beaten the fucking thing.
Okay, so anyway, the game and the anime by extension is, of course, Persona 5. We have
what I have to say is the Persona 5 the animation is really good. You guys in the fandom are just mean.
And let me say, as someone who hasn't played the game and just could absorb this as just another anime show, I really enjoyed it. Like, I thought it had a lot going for it. It was fun. The characters were great. I really liked they're called palaces, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
The palaces that they go into. I like the kind of allusions to the 7 deadly sins. I like the fact that at the end it becomes almost a political thriller.
And then you fight God. Yep.
Yes, as you fight God.
Yeah, the main story literally ends with you shooting God in the face.
From essentially point blank.
Yes, and it's so wacky and wild. But like the characters are super duper likable. Like the main 7. There's not a whole lot of likable characters outside of those main 7. The dad's okay.
Sojiro?
Yeah, Sojiro's okay.
Boss is okay.
Yeah, the boss is okay. Sai is definitely a seesaw character. Goes from unlikable to likable Well, okay. She mainly is unlikable throughout the show. Then when she understands what's going on, she just kind of becomes okay. Um, so yeah, as this is my first experience with Persona 5, I loved it. Like, it was so much fun. The only thing that really annoyed me about Persona 5 the animation has nothing to do with any of the content itself. It's the way it was distributed. Like, it's a 28 episode anime, which is fine, but
they did like 26 regular sized episodes and then made the last 2 hour long
episodes, which makes no sense. Like, they should have just released it as Persona 5 the animation, the movie, and just make a 2-hour movie, kind of like
Review Starlight.
Yeah, Review Starlight. Just wrap everything up, because those 2 episodes do wrap everything up. You wouldn't even really need to change anything about how they're presented. You just need to slice out the end credits of the first one and just stick the beginning of the second movie, or the second episode just right there at the beginning. But yeah, there's so much to love about Persona 5 the animation. I guess since you guys know more about the games, you can talk about how well they... Because I don't know how well this is translated from the games.
I mean, probably the best guess I can give as to why the fandom doesn't like it is probably just because they cut out a lot of the palace exploration. Like, they pretty much only show, like, the important plot bits, which, I mean, I like that. That works for adaptation.
Yeah,
I don't think the crowd would really enjoy just a lot of scenes of the characters just jumping on platforms and stuff.
And I mean, they did the in-between stuff pretty well. They were doing like exposition stuff. They do like,
it's like
they
little
show
still shots of like different scenes from the palace.
Either stills or they're moving around. It's pretty good. Yeah, what I'm saying is a lot of people who play the games when they see an adaptation, they just really wanted to do like everything they saw in the game, but not straight from that. So they really want people to go, oh, this part of the palace is really hard. I wonder if they show that. Oh, the Kumura battle was really hard. I hope they show that. They didn't. But everything else in there is like Persona 5, the animation really just covers the most important plot beats inside the palaces. But outside the palaces, it was...
I was going to say, so in the games, you spend a lot of time in those palaces. Basically.
Yes, they're the main basis for each level or section of the game.
Okay. And like, I get why they cut that down. Like, I think that if you had tried, like, based on what you're saying, I think that it would have made the show like way too bloated if they tried
I think they would have probably made the show like
twice the length,
like 50, 60 episodes. They really
at least dedicate like a few episodes to each palace exploration.
Yeah, and I thought that was great. Like, I thought it was like really cool. Like, okay, we're in the palace where An was, and then and then we move on to the Yusuke Palace.
Makoto, then Futaba Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, I really love the Futaba Palace because I'm just such a giant fan of like ancient Egypt.
In that palace, I'm really happy that they covered the
little mural things.
Yeah, I was set up to be disappointed because I don't expect too much out of video game adaptations, but they really did a good job with that.
Like, where they see the paintings that pretty much just explaining like how Futaba found out her mom died, like what they told her.
Yeah, and like kind of hieroglyphics, like kind of ancient Egypt.
Which basically
in the game there was like a whole puzzle, like the little pictures were scrambled and you had to like put them together.
Oh, that was a mechanic in the game?
Oh, like a little bit, like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And and then it just turns out, skipping to the end of the series, it just turns out a politician really just wanted to be the prime minister. And basically told the little girl that she's responsible for her mom killing herself.
Yeah,
that's kind of
Can I just say, I was surprised by how political this got. Like, that was not I did not expect Persona 5 to essentially be like an anime version of All the President's Men.
So the game is heavily implied to come out in 2016 and 2017.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of political stuff.
You know what happened in 2016.
Yeah.
And essentially, there's some conflicting reports that, what's his face? The very last guy.
Oh, Shido?
Shido was supposed to be Shinzo Abe.
Oh, okay.
And the people who created the game weren't exactly his fans, but since they censored nearly everything that was supposed to be kind of a political allegory.
Shinzo, Shido.
Which, I'll just say, like, regardless of who it is, I thought it was, like, honestly kind of badass that they just sort of swung for the fences on, like, actually trying to make a statement
Yeah.
with... And this is from someone.
And it actually worked pretty well. Didn't seem super like ham-fisted.
And it didn't feel preachy either. It actually felt like.
Hey, current game devs, you can take a note out of that.
yeah. It felt like something that would actually happen, and I think it was actually for the better that they didn't try to reference like Shinzo Abe, if that is indeed who the.
There's conflicting reports, but like 8 of the 10 that I looked at said that was him.
Okay. Even if whether it was him or wasn't him, I think that the fact that they took a step back from trying to make a direct statement was actually to its benefit, because like Steven just alluded to, we live in kind of a culture where making allusions to politicians can go so wrong, be so cringy.
Let me put it in a way that most people can understand. Most of the people in the game development area and community management see a screw and use a sledgehammer to make the point. So, and as people who play the games, we don't want it to be ham-fisted. Can you tell a story and make it, a little bit?
We just want to have fun with it.
We want to have fun with it. First off, second, we also want to have a little bit. How am I gonna put this? We want some escapism. We don't want everything to be related to real life. Please, thank you.
Yeah, which
I'm already depressed enough at my desk job as it is. I don't need more.
Which Persona 5 works in that regard, but I think it also I think it does say something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it does work in that regard. But besides messaging, I think the point where Persona 5 really shines as an anime, where it really shines, is its characters. Especially the main group, the Phantom Thieves. Because I couldn't find a one that I didn't like. Now, this is anime, I understand.
Yeah, Morgana is an asshole in the game.
Yeah.
But Morgana was pretty likable in the anime.
Yeah, I understand that Morgana is markedly different from how he is portrayed in the game to the anime. I'm saying this as someone who is an anime-only person, mainly because I just haven't played the games yet. I'm saying that I didn't have as much of a problem with Morgana. Now, he's not my favorite, don't get me wrong. I think my favorite character would probably be... probably Ren, if I'm being honest. I like Ren a lot. Makoto's great. I've actually grown a lot towards Haru. I think Haru is really good.
Who couldn't like the floof?
The floof! And she looks like Molly Ringwald. Which is fun. That's an inside joke, because I keep comparing Persona 5 to a John Hughes movie, like The Breakfast Club.
Speaking of another game tie-in here, Haru is more of like a sadist, I think, when it comes to like how she fights, because she
like in the game.
Yeah, because you go there's a section called Mementos, which is like part of the final arc of the game, where if you go down into it,
like driving around in Mementos, like if you haven't fought anything in a while, it'll just have like the characters talking.
Okay.
Like little Mementos conversations, and Haru has one where she says, "Don't you get a thrill of excitement when you hear the shadows begging for their lives?" Then Ryuji just says, "Oh, so you're one of those people." I'm just gonna move.
Just gonna slide over real quick.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? Yeah, I didn't get that vibe from Haru. That's kind of funny, to be honest. But
I think someone has made a supercut of all the Haru lines in Mementos on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Steven and Anna have shown me some pretty good compilations from the Persona 5 video game.
My favorite one is John Mulaney.
Yeah.
John Mulaney explaining Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah. Is the game called Persona 5 or Persona 5 Royal?
So Persona 5's the base game. Royal was the re-release.
And added extra content.
Okay, I understand.
That's the one me and Steven have played.
Okay.
When I got into Persona 5, I played it back in 2021, and I got Royal from GameStop.
Okay. Because
I got into Persona 5 because my pal Sarah got into it, and she told me that Futaba's literally me. So I had to get into it then so I could, because she wanted me to dress up
Yeah.
as Futaba.
Damn, she really called that because
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you all know, but like, there's a character in Persona 5 named Futaba who has long hair, big glasses, is like pretty skinny, and like basically just looks like Hannah.
The only difference is that she has headphones and orange hair.
Yeah, and like, yeah, we throw some beats on you, and there you go. But yeah, I mean, going back to the characters of Persona 5, I like, honestly, the Phantom Thieves are super likable. Like they feel like a real squad, and I always like when an anime like makes a squad feel like, you know, this is like
Feels like a real friend group that would exist.
yeah, and you know, you have your group dad, you have Ryuji, who's kind of the party boy, you got Yusuke, who's kind of the weirdo.
Weird art boy.
Yeah.
Oh, another game tie-in. I swear this will be my last part.
No,
when
go
they,
ahead.
When they get Futaba to come out of her shell, Futaba has this Super Sentai.
Like Power Rangers looking figures.
Yeah, and
There's like a
in
moment where they're all talking to Futaba, and then you just see Yusuke just in the background fiddling with something.
yeah, and you can tell this is where how much of a Dragon Ball has a theme, has like an overarching.
Yes, a lot of Dragon Ball references just hidden in the game.
Yeah, he puts the Super Sentai group in the Ginyu Force poses.
It's like switches their heads around.
It's funny, and then Futaba just gets really angry.
Like, what did you do to my children?
It's great.
I'm glad you brought that up because I love the little like references to older anime that were sprinkled throughout. Like the fact Sojiro is basically like a redo of Jingen from Lupin the
Oh, yeah,
Third.
there's also a bunch of Lupin references too.
Yeah, a lot
This
of
game
Lupin.
is entirely Lupin references.
Yeah.
I mean, the first persona you get is named Arsene, like Arsene Lupin.
Yeah,
And the very first one you go to is LeBlanc.
Yeah,
Or
LeBlanc's
LeBlanc.
the name of the cafe. Like Maurice LeBlanc, the creator of Lupin.
Oh yeah,
The
right.
original Lupin character, not Lupin the Third.
Yeah. No, I completely understand what you're saying. I'm just kind of going back to the characters of Persona 5. I mean, it's so hard to to like pick a favorite, but like I said, if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be Ren. But I want to hear what your guys' favorite.
I guess I'll go first before Hannah goes. My favorite would be Ren, and then Best Girl Makoto because it's yeah,
I do, you know.
You're in the cult of Makoto.
Okay,
based and blessed. Yes.
okay. I'll say this about Makoto. At first, when I was first watching the show, I didn't really get her.
Oh, I hated her with a passion.
Yeah,
And
I didn't
then
really.
Once you get her on the team,
You're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, she definitely improves, and I wonder if that's like a carryover from the game or not. Like it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I do like Makoto. Like I think she's a
yeah,
good
there's,
character.
like part of the mechanic in the game, like before you get her on the team, like when she's like when she's still working under the principal, it's like trying to get dirt on you. It's like when you walk through the school and out in the city, you'll just see her following behind you, just like pretending to look in a magazine.
And the best way to fuck with that AI is going into the men's restroom in the school because she doesn't know what to do because normally she'd try to follow you by like 30 paces or
Then her
so.
little video game model will just start running in a circle.
She just starts. She'll go back to the door and back there, and then start spinning around. And
So
around
wait,
and around.
so you wait for her to like try to catch up to you, and then you dart into them.
Well, no. She just casually follows you throughout the school. You don't have to wait for her, but you know she's there. But she's like really bad.
Yeah, when
she
you're
just has like a
exploring the
magazine.
school, like you can just walk into the bathroom and you'll just hear a little flushing sound effect.
Oh, okay.
It's just really funny because if you stay in the bathroom, Makoto's AI just fucks around.
That's I did not know that. That's pretty funny. But so I would say, not to cut Hannah off,
It's
but
alright.
I would say my best girl is either Futaba or Haru.
Yeah.
Like it's a toss up between those two. I legitimately cannot pick between the two. I used to really like An. I still like An, and I do like Makoto. Just
Well, so he said you like basic.
well, An used to be my best girl when we were halfway through the show. Then we met Haru, and I was like, and we met Futaba around the same time. Like, oh shit! All right, there we go. So Hannah, why don't you say who your favorite?
I think my favorites are the same as yours. Like, and I like Futaba first of all because she's me, and also that I love gremlins.
Yeah, she's pretty funny.
She sits like a gremlin.
Well, yeah, like she's always in that
kind of pose like L from Death Note, where he just like sits like with his feet up in the chair
fucking
too.
Slavic bullshit.
Yeah, there's some funny moments with There's some funny moments with Futaba that are like, and they're from the game. They're from the game. Some of them were in the anime, but when they started sending me clips from the game, I kind of got it more. Like there's this.
It's like one of their text conversations, like Yusuke wouldn't know aesthetics if it hit him in the face, and Yusuke's like, "Why would you say that to me of all people?"
Yeah.
So offended.
Yeah. And kind of building off of that, then you have just these funny, like, kind of gremlinish moments with Futaba, like the lobsters.
Oh yeah.
Like where
it's like Yusuke spends the last of his money at the beach on lobsters
and Futaba is
trying to grab them from...
Yeah, and it's like this long it feels almost like a loop. Yeah. Where it's like, I don't even know how you see this in the game. But...
Yeah, it's just, well, two characters are talking, and it's like, if you just leave the screen on that.
Yeah, and Futaba is like going to the left, going to the right,
yeah, and Yusuke's just keeping them out of her reach.
Yeah, Yusuke is so much taller than Futaba, so she can't actually, like, reach the lobsters, which I thought was funny. But there are a lot of great moments with Futaba. So Futaba, you would say, is your favorite, but like
I love Haru too, just because I mean the floof is adorable.
Haru, yeah.
Also, I just like the secret sadist thing. Or like she has the adorable voice, which actually, fun fact, that Haru's English voice actress is the same voice actress for Hanayo in the English dub of Love Live.
Okay. So the English voice of Hanayo voices...
Haru.
Okay. Who voices Haru?
Zanthi Hyun.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, she's pretty famous for just doing, like, the cutesy characters.
Okay. Well, I mean, she does a great job as Haru. And I will say, Haru actually works because even in a group that's, like, as idealistic as the Phantom Thieves are... Haru seems like the most idealistic, but it doesn't feel like kind of what we were talking about earlier, how it's like we don't like things, being sort of ham-fisted. Haru's idealism doesn't really feel ham-fisted. It feels like that's just who her character is.
Haru's whole thing is that like she's from a rich family and she's like her whole life is pretty much just doing whatever her father wants. So
yeah,
you could kind of say her sadism is just her finally just letting all of the rage she's contained.
Yeah,
which is what I liked about Makoto, to be honest, that she was like a goody.
Yeah, that's kind of Makoto's whole thing too.
Yeah, she was a goody two shoes, following whatever the adults told her, but then she started interacting with the Phantom Thieves and we learned, oh wait, everything's actually kind of fucked up there, isn't it? Yeah. And then just let it all go.
Yeah, that's what
why her weapon is brass knuckles and her little element is nuclear. And she does nuke attacks.
And her persona's a fucking motorcycle.
Nice. And yeah, that's what made Makoto endearing to me, is because her sister is just a fucking battle axe.
And a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the whole moment that finally drives Makoto to the Phantom Thieves is like her sister pretty much telling her that she's a burden on her. Like literally calling Makoto useless.
Oh yeah. I did not like that. And the thing is, I didn't even really know Makoto that well, but I knew Sai well enough to be like, all right, shut the fuck up. What's wrong with
bitch,
you?
what you doing?
Yeah.
You want to fight?
Yeah, I mean, but I still thought it was I still thought that they handled that character well.
And I still love the John Mulaney explaining Persona 5 when like we're on like pretty much just brings Makoto's trauma back. It's like for student council president, you're pretty useless. Like John Mulaney, no, that's the thing I'm sensitive about.
But anyway, to wrap up Persona 5, since we kind of been going on this for maybe nigh on 15 minutes, maybe longer.
Hey, but Persona is a...
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about with that series.
Yeah, y'all converted me. If we're giving rating, is that what we're doing?
But I want to say, please don't yell at us. This was the only way to get Wade into Persona without making him go through the time sink.
Making him come over to our house and play it on the PS5.
Guys, I have a limited amount of hours in the day.
Yeah, we have lives outside of podcast and anime club.
But let me say...
We do?
That, it's on the golf course.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I kind of don't have a life now since I'm on summer vacation.
For only one more week.
Yeah, till I start working at the summer school for June. And then
I've been doing
for July, I won't have a life again.
I've been working 40 hours a fucking week.
So, let me, I guess if we're giving out ratings, let me say that Persona 5, the animation, I give an A tier. A very high A tier. There's certain things about it that kind of hold it back from being an S tier. I think that's more just problems of it being like a video game adaptation.
The distribution's what holds it back from being S tier for me, so I was in A tier too.
Yeah.
I'd say A tier too, which I think one point I wanted to bring up earlier is like why I think the fandom might not like the adaptation is just because they cut out some of the confidants.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Confident,
like the little side characters you can see that you can level up your relationship.
Oh,
with.
like the teacher?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 8-10 of those maybe, which I think they all tie back to the
10.
The tarot card arcanas stuff. Which, I think that.
No, unlike Nozomi's, these are accurate.
Like little gun boy Shinya, where it's he has the get smoked hat. That little boy.
He barely makes an appearance, but that hat got censored too.
You only see him once in the anime.
Get Smoke got censored?
Yeah, I think they put it to
a plain yellow hat.
Yeah, like a plain
plain red.
Oh, that's sad because that's an iconic thing from
for my Futaba cosplay. I actually found the Get Smoked hat on Amazon back when my family sent me an Amazon gift card, so I just bought that and just wear it with my Futaba, even though Futaba never wears it.
It just seems like something she would wear.
Yeah, and that guy that runs the airsoft shop, EY, you only see him a few times.
But he's the best dad.
Yeah, he's a cool character. I wish they did more with it, but it sounds like they have him more in the game.
I think the confidence they have that actually do anything of worth is Kawakami.
Yeah.
The teacher,
right? The teacher, yes.
And they do have the doctor lady, if you've seen
What
it.
about
yes, I do.
What about that one dude who basically runs their social media page?
Oh yeah.
Mishima? Oh god.
Mishima.
Yeah, those are the three that they actually make use of, which is funny because no one likes Mishima, but the only reason I got his entire thing done in the game.
He's a very useful confidant to have, even though just doing his old confidant roots is just cringe.
It is so cringe. I want to throw myself off the balcony.
His whole character is pretty much just being a Reddit mod.
Oh dear.
Yeah, like I said, his thing is so cringe. I want to throw myself off the balcony.
Yeah, I mean
gotcha,
the best scene with Mishima is when you're doing Futaba's confidant. It's one of her little goals she has is to interact with a stranger outside of the Phantom Thieves, and you're just hanging out with Futaba at a cafe, and then Mishima comes by, "Oh, Ren, there's a girl with you," and then Futaba's starts talking to him. First of all, she calls him Mishima, just mispronounces his name, and then eventually she's like, "Oh, you're totally generic aura." Mishima, are you an NPC?
Oh,
slaughters his entire
eviscerates.
Slaughters his entire confidence for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. So before we move on from Persona 5, I want to say two things. One, so we're all in agreement on
A tier.
On A tier,
yep.
And two, we went this whole conversation without mentioning Akechi once, which is kind of funny considering how he dies.
Steven's best boy.
If we're talking Royal, he's actually one of my favorite characters just because of how insane he goes.
Oh, okay, that's fair. But
Akechi lets his mask drop for the rest of Royal, and he's just unapologetically insane.
And the combo attack that you have with Ren and Akechi and Royal is fucking awesome.
It's just like Akechi just runs after the enemy. It's like die.
So Ren distracts him, and Akechi just goes in with his serrated fucking sword, like a shark tooth sword, just goes.
Oh Jesus! I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was funny that we had this long conversation about Persona 5.
Akechi in the game is basically just a little like a mini boss, and that's not that hard.
Yeah. So he's like he is in the anime.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, but I guess we don't have a winner there.
Yeah,
but
one last thing I want to shout out: all the voice actors for the Phantom Thieves just really bring their A game.
And I want to say that seeing Erica Harlacher in a role where it isn't Violet Evergarden, because I said that she was my favorite voice actress, anime dub voice actress of all time because of her role in Violet Evergarden. See, I think she does a really good job with Ann as well.
Expecting her to go from Violet Evergarden to pretty much like kind of Valley Girl.
Yeah, and they're all veteran voice actors except for Ren, whose voice actor has only really done video game stuff.
But his
biggest role is the Smash announcer for Smash Ultimate.
However, his dub voice actor does the muscle man, like the muscle autism incarnate man from Jujutsu Kaisen. The name of that character escapes me right now, but
okay.
Oh, I think I remember who that. I don't know his name, but yeah, I think I know who you're talking
about. The guy
about.
who would go to collapse and switch spices with people. It's he's great in a fight, but yeah, that's the same guy who does Ren.
Okay, well, he deserves more anime roles because he is amazing, as Ren. Like, he really sells that character. A character that could be so milquetoast, he really gives a lot of good characterization to him.
The church scene was fucking hilarious. Beat by beat in the game too was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also bring up Robbie Damon for Akechi, like during like Akechi's kind of death scene where like he has a big breakdown, like, why are you so important? See, like, yeah, he's just really letting it out for that.
Yeah.
This is why I wish they had a royal anime adaptation, because that would have been fantastic.
Definitely.
Like he'd probably blow his voice out doing that.
And then to introduce Kasumi. That would be a headache.
So
though they probably can't do a royal one anymore because Billy Kometz.
Oh yeah, rip to a king. Yeah. On that note, so Persona 5 A tiers for all of us, at least as far as the anime is concerned.
We've said our piece about Persona 5.
Definitely.
Yep.
So moving on.
The Lupin the Third Detective Conan movies.
So these were my girlfriend Heather's picks, and I gotta say, I guess we should preface this by saying that as of this year, we've really started to get more into the mythos of Lupin the Third.
Yeah, after we watched the 70s series and Castle of Cagliostro, we've really got on the Lupin hype train.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna, as a group, we're not gonna watch the 150 Red Jacket series.
Yeah.
No.
But not the ones that are like 100-something episodes, but anything within like a reasonable range, like 20-something episodes, we can do that.
Yeah.
Or movies.
Yeah, and there are a lot of Lupin movies. So
yeah, I mean, I have the 2019 movie over here at home that the 3D animated
that makes
one.
Jinkin a fucking thirst trap, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to watch that sometimes. I've had this for like a year now. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic.
Oh, yeah.
That just shows how much we're backlogged, right?
Oh, yeah. 100%. We just keep buying anime from...
Yeah, especially I have so many DVDs and stuff that got from Black Friday deals from Sentai and Crunchyroll, their online stores. They had really, really good Black Friday deals that I just have so many that I haven't even taken out of the plastic yet.
Yeah, I totally understand that. But everything I've seen of Lupin the Third, I've really loved, and Lupin as a franchise actually works, because even though there's a 150 episode anime, it's not like it's not like you need to watch everything in order to understand.
That's like if it was just airing on TV, you just turn the TV on and just a random episode was on, you could just jump right into it.
Yeah, it'd be like a movie of the week, kind of.
I mean, I'd say you probably have to watch the 72 series to get a grasp on what's going on.
I understand who the characters are, but once you
don't Mr. Green Jacket, everything else is just free game.
Yeah.
Like every single episode is just like who's the bad guy of the week. Like, who's Lupin gonna take down this time?
And
who's Lupin gonna fuck with this
Release
time?
Lupin versus Kaido Kid. That's all I need.
Yeah, which they were building it up at the end of one of these movies.
Yeah,
was
they said it was gonna come out in summer of 2020, and then
It's been 4 years.
So let me say this. Going into talking about the special and the movie, there are two types of Lupin the Third plots that I've noticed. There's Lupin learns that Lupin and his friends are trying to
take down like a rival bad guy.
Well, they try to get a stash of jewels or cash, or two, they end up with some kind of hostage or some kind of tag along.
Yeah, or just a random third one. They just want to fuck with Zenigata.
Yeah,
like
or
that one where Lupin purposefully goes to jail just to mentally torture Zenigata.
But yeah, the characters it's very much like kind of it is in the tradition of like those long running series like James Bond, like Parker, where it's a long running series, but every sort of installment is standalone, where you don't really need to know what happened before or after to kind of get us okay. We know who this character is. We know who Lupin is. We know who Jingen is. We know who Zenigata, Goemon, Fujika.
I mean, I think Heather was the only one of us that really knew anything about Detective Conan, but I mean, once we got into the movies, we kind of knew just like what the character archetypes were.
It was super easy to get into Detective Conan.
Especially, I think one of them introduced the introductions of Conan and what he does. Yeah. Which Conan, from what I understand, is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It was super not hard at all to
Detective
understand.
Boy, where he was like a fully grown teenager, but then just got hit with like a de-aging thing, so now he's a little kid that I think his name is like Sosuke or something, but now he goes by Conan.
Yeah, and Conan was a good character too. I thought his stuff didn't feel like a tack on.
Love the scenes where with him and Jingen, and he just fuck with Jingen by calling him Papa.
Yeah, or Daddy.
The fucking sign like I'm not your daddy.
So during the intro thing for the second movie where they were introducing the Lupin characters, Jingen just had a sign with him that said, "Don't call me daddy."
Yeah,
and then he had another one that said, "This is all your fault."
Yeah.
It was the scene when like Conan was calling somebody on the phone, and then it's like everything kind of fucked up then, so you just saw Jingen in the background with a sign that said, "This is all your fault." So
if I can say real fast, so the plot of the Lupin the Third Detective Conan special is like it's kind of similar to Castle Cagliostro in a lot of ways. Like there's this princess who's trying to run away,
and then just one of the girls from Conan looks exactly like the princess, so they just switch around.
Yeah, and there's like a plot to get her back. Lupin the Third and his crew get involved with it. Zenigata is chasing after Lupin. Detective Conan is chasing after the girl, so they kind of cross paths. And it's kind of funny how effortlessly the two like groups of characters sort of cross paths and work so well off of each other.
It's like if this was just a regular Lupin episode, like I wouldn't have even batted an eye.
Yeah, if you had not told me that like Conan was from a completely different franchise, I would have just thought, oh, these are some new characters that they're throwing into the Lupin mythos. But let me just say, do you remember when we were talking about Castle Cagliostro and you had talked about there was some mild, I don't even want to call it controversy, but like there were fans complaining that Fujika wasn't sexy enough.
Oh yeah, apparently people did complain that since Miyazaki wants to do more like family-friendly type movies, he kind of toned down Fujiko's like sexiness, which like gave her like a properly fitting outfit that covered everything.
Which, to be fair, in the early 70s show, she's not that sexualized. Yeah, like really, like.
I mean,
but it was really funny when the American FBI got into the movie, near the end of the second thing. Yeah. They just gave her fucking sizes just offhand. Like, I remember I said she's a size 99 bust, size fucking 50
that
something
was
waist,
great.
and like a size 70 something fucking
99 bust.
Yeah.
That's some major honkers.
Yeah. Do Bon Honker. Some Dabunga Gangaloo.
No wonder Lupin's going after that, no matter how many times she double crosses him.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Lupin's double crossed her several times too.
Yeah.
But in any case,
titties.
They're both idiots. They deserve each
yeah,
other.
yes.
What made me uncomfortable is how she was flirting with the was it the girl that also got hit by her own de-aging agent in Conan,
yeah.
and then started flirting with Conan, and I was like, hey, yo.
Yeah,
hey.
that was. I mean,
it don't look good.
Yeah.
Back it up, little girl.
Yeah. So, I mean, that didn't bother me, obviously, but it's like, oh.
Just regular anime nonsense.
Yeah, just regular anime nonsense. But, I will say I liked the special more than I liked the movie, because I felt like the movie was kind of convoluted in a lot of sense.
A little bit, yeah. The special was a very good plot from beginning.
Yeah, the special was easy to follow. It was the movie where it just kind of went all over the place.
Something about like some Italian singer boy, and then
and
other weird little plot points going on.
Yeah, the Lupin the Third Conan special was easier to follow because it's like the plot was
just two girls switch places.
Yeah, and and then the groups cross paths because they're essentially looking for the same person.
The only reason why the special in the movie crossed in the first place is because there's like material from this kingdom that Lupin is trying to get back and take back to that said kingdom, and Conan just basically fucks up his steps.
Yeah. And I will say that regardless of plot, like, because plot only matters in like us explaining these properties to you, where they really come into their own is when you see the characters interacting with each other, because they are so funny. They are just so there's so many
Jigen
good...
and Conan's chemistry is fucking hilarious.
It's amazing. Like Conan, like kind of what Steven was talking about. Conan likes to fuck with Jigen by saying, like, because he's, super small.
But that was what Tana was saying, but yeah.
Yeah. And Conan will say, "Are you, like, you're my daddy?" And then Jigen gets like super pissed off over it, and it's a fun...
Like, stop telling people I'm your dad.
Yeah.
Like that scene where Jingen's at the bar, and then Conan just comes up to him, and the bartender's like, "Hey, so is that your kid?" Like,
yes.
Kids aren't allowed in the bar. Like, there's some apple juice for your kid.
Yeah.
It's like, he's not my kid, Daddy.
And that's where the sign comes from. But yeah, I really enjoyed the special, and I enjoyed the movie.
I like how more cutthroat they make Lupin's team be in those specials.
Yeah, they feel more like career criminals than just Looney Tunes characters. Even though the Looney Tunes shit is there, they feel more like this feels more like a criminal enterprise.
Yeah. It's like some scenes with Jigen where it seems like if he wasn't in the middle of something else right now, he would have just shot Conan.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't really have a whole lot to say about these. I mean, it's Lupin the Third. If you like anything from Lupin the Third, you're gonna like these movies. And if you like anything from Detective Conan, you're gonna like these. You're gonna like these special. The movie is a little bit convoluted, but I think you can get past that. I'd give the Lupin the Third Conan special an A tier, low A tier, and I'd give the movie a B tier.
I think I'd put them both in A tier.
I'll probably put them both in like a very high B tier.
Okay, fair enough. So
there's only one show that I have that's like split between A and B tier hardcore, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
eventually.
And also, we need to do a Lupin the Third group cosplay sometime.
Yes.
I feel like Wade, you'd be a really good Lupin. Steven, you look exactly like Jigen. Like I'd probably be Goemon.
That's why I'm letting my hair grow out right now.
Yeah.
Because I can do a good Jigen back flick.
I've talked to Heather about playing Zenigata.
Just have her chase you around.
Yeah. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah, I do like Goemon just having a few scenes in the movies. He just shows up to like slice an airplane in half and then leave.
He shows up, slice airplane in half, doesn't explain, leaves.
Yeah.
Or just slicing an armored car in half.
Or slicing a regular car in half.
Or slicing Conan's fucking skateboard in half too. That was
Oh,
hilarious.
that was
he,
cold.
It just shows up, just slices something in half, and then you never see him again.
For like the next 30 minutes in the film. But yeah, so we got our ratings down for the Lupin the Third Conan crossovers. So moving on, I have
Next one on our list is Birdie Wing.
all right.
Venus line.
So I will say that having just come back from a golf course, it is really
Where Wade won.
Yes, I did win.
And also, fun fact, right after we watched this anime, I actually went on AliExpress to look for Birdie Wing cosplays. First of all, the only character they sold cosplays of was Aoi, like the Japanese girl from it, so I just bought her outfit, and it arrived just like a week or two ago, so I actually wore it to the course today.
Yeah, and you liked golfing in it?
Yeah, it survived a real game of golf, so...
Yeah.
I mean, she wore the cowl for like up to 4 holes.
Yeah, the
because that
little
thing started
shawl thing they had with it, like the wind blew and then it just started just going all over to one side, so I just took it off.
We decided pre-game that the glove ain't gonna work.
Yeah, the glove they send with it is not a real golf glove. It's just same little fabric they make all cosplay gloves out of. So
Yeah.
I just figured it probably wouldn't survive. Like, I mean, when I was just putting, it was fine, but I felt like if I actually took a real swing with it, it would probably just shatter at the knuckles.
That's the thing. We gotta get. We could just get her like a real golf club and put it.
Cut off that little purple thing and that little pink.
Yeah.
Stuff they have around it. Just sew it onto a real glove.
Yeah, and it would work just as fine. But yeah, Birdie Wing is a show that has been getting like a lot of buzz for like being kind of a sleeper hit of 2023, with the fact that it's golf season again.
And golf is having its time in the sports anime limelight.
Yeah.
That Birdie Wing come out back in like 2021, was it?
22.
Yeah, 2022, and right now currently airing is a show I've been keeping up with every week called Oi Tonbo.
Which sounds like a show that I would probably give a higher...
As soon as it finishes airing, I'm showing it to you guys.
There are a couple more coming down the pipe right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's also a little 15-minute special called Sarairo Utility.
Yeah.
It's about 3 girls that play golf together. That little 15-minute special is adorable, and it's pretty much how all of us play golf. So, yeah, like just watching that one, it's like, Minami is so me for real. and that's getting a full-length TV anime in 2025.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that.
That's one to keep an eye out for.
And apparently there's one coming out on Netflix later this
Yes.
year. I forget what it's called, but...
We'll be watching. Probably it will be our fall golf.
Can't wait for Oi Tombo to be a show too.
Yeah.
Actually, fun fact. Apparently when I looked up Oi Tonbo, they said apparently Amazon is streaming it. They're doing a simulcast of it and doing a simul dub too, but every time I look it up, they haven't dropped a cast list for the dub.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything about the dub.
I wonder if it's one of the ones where they're using AI for it.
Maybe.
Oh.
So,
I've heard nothing about a cast list. I've heard nobody talking about the dub. So, I mean, whenever I look, Go Anime is the site I'm using where I just watch anime on my phone with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I've seen them, like, when I search up Oi Tonbo, it says Oi Tonbo and then Oi Tonbo dub.
Yeah.
I've never actually watched the dub of it, but it's coming out too.
So, yeah, there's quite a bit of golf anime, which is really exciting for...
Yeah, back to Birdie Wing.
Yeah, I'm saying that it's really exciting that there's all this golf anime coming out, especially for the 3 of us who love golf and love anime.
Yeah.
But let me say that Birdie Wing, as a show, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's one of those types of worlds where like everything is sort of built around like one sport or one game.
Yeah, one game is the Scottish Fade that they don't play too much anymore.
Yeah.
In America, we have football, and this little country that it's like the little country.
It's like a European.
Yeah, it's
country.
like Francesco is like what they call it in the.
Yeah,
a made-up European country. They have the golf mafia.
yeah. There's a golf.
It's just back alley golf games where people are betting money.
Yeah, and it's more like the golf like evil organization because they can like have these like big indoor
There's golf eugenics.
Yeah, there's golf eugenics.
That's a thing.
Owie, like her thing is that it's like the best women's golfer and the best male golfer. They were like I think Owie's mother's father pretty much just married her off to the top men's golfer.
Yeah,
but she had the golfer of his friends, but her kid is actually the guy's friend, and then her.
She was actually in love with.
Yeah,
which is funny because
the dad pretty much went along with it.
Yeah,
it's like I don't mind that you knocked her up. I'll just marry her just to.
Yeah, it would have been funny if that was one of the chicks that Tiger Woods was fucking around with. But in any case, well, it is kind of funny because, hey, Eve is blonde. Who else was blonde? Aline. Come on.
She said, "Beat it, bozo." John Mulaney reference.
Oh yeah. But
like,
in any,
what did Aline say to Tiger Woods? She said, "Beat it, bozo."
Good one. Was that before or after the non-iron?
Yeah. Oh, that had to have been after.
Yeah, because like the whole John Mulaney joke there is that he just passed by some newspaper and said, like, Tiger wants her back, but she said, "Beat it, bozo." No, she didn't. First of all, she's from a different country, and nobody has said bozo since like the 1930s.
Okay, that's pretty hilarious. But the thing I like about worlds that are set up in anime like Birdie Wing is that they're so bizarre and they're so like
if you love that shonen fight nonsense, like people just like getting like
supercharged,
fists lighting up in like rainbow colors when they're throwing a punch. You get that with Birdie Wing, but it's golf clubs.
Yeah. It's like they give golf the shonen anime treatment, and it's honestly really fun to watch.
It's so much so you can actually tell how much money they're saving with all the recycled scenes.
Yeah. And also there are some things in Birdie Wing that I just could not reconcile because like there's a scene where Eve, who's the main character by the way.
Oh yeah, like one of the first golf competition scenes with her and Owie was at the tree scene.
Yeah, where she
nails the fucking branch and cuts it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they see her like aiming like for the woods, like what is she doing?
Because it's a dog leg hole, and her idea is to cut around.
It's not a dog leg; it's a broken leg hole. Come with that fucking arc.
Oh yeah. Well,
there's like a force like right in the middle of the hole. It's like she's aiming straight. What is she doing?
Yeah.
And she just hits it with the driver. It cuts it through the woods, knocks a branch clean off the tree, and then makes it.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that kind
because she hits it from the woods and then tries to make it.
Yeah, because that shit would never in a million.
Whenever you hit it into a tree, it just knocks right back to you.
Because that's what happens when you hit it into the woods.
Yeah.
It's like playing fucking It's like
ping pong.
Or ping pong or pinball.
Yeah, pinball. Yeah.
I would have loved if when Eve went into the woods to find her ball, she just found a random ball and was like, "Yep, this one's mine."
Because that would have been more realistic.
Yeah, that would have been more.
Anybody playing a Titleist? Anybody with a Titleist? All right, guess I'm pocketing it.
Yeah, which all golfers do. Don't kid yourself. It is what happens.
Yeah,
but
I mean, whenever Steven goes into the rough to search for his ball, he just comes out with like 3 other balls.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's free shopping.
Yeah.
If you don't want to find it, and it's so weird. It's like
look, it saves me from paying like $25 for a pack of 6. All right, shut up.
Yeah. I mean,
really.
I would dive into the creek every time to get a golf because
I almost made way dive into a creek after I said a joke.
Yeah, and that would have been a bad day to fall in a creek. But in any case, yeah, I'm always searching for new golf balls. But in any case, so the plot is Eve basically gets picked to like.
She's pretty much just She's pretty much hired by the golf mafia.
to like represent them in like this golf
Like-
tournament in Japan.
Yeah. Well, it's like no, she's just pretty much the golf mafia's the girl to rake them in money, but then she comes across Aoi at
Uh-huh.
just a regular golf course, and then like the two of them play together, and she's like, okay, I need to do everything I can to play with her again.
Mm-hmm.
So then eventually the mafia just pays for her to like be in a regular competition where she can play with Aoi on regular stakes.
Yeah, it's easy to follow, but it's kind of convoluted, which would be fine because I like, kind of. But it's like what I came here to watch was kind of the golf.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I didn't come here for an anime crime drama. I didn't come here.
And then just eventually the mafia puts a hit out on Eve, so eventually she has to
Fucking
run
goes
away to
crazy.
Japan. She has to run away to Japan and join Aoi's school,
Yeah, which is like this really high-end girls' academy.
which has a super high-level golf team.
Yeah, and a nice golf course. Like, I'm like, God damn, let this be a real place because I would love to play there
And
someday.
then you go there and you go back to your local community, like, what the fuck is this shit?
You never go back.
It's like it goes from crime drama to high school drama.
High school drama.
With some Yuri sprinkled in there.
A little Yuri spray. But
Yeah. Also, what is this golf why is this golf anime the best Yuri show I've ever seen?
I don't know. I came to watch the golf.
Yeah, I came here for golf and ended up with great Yuri.
I mean, I'm glad that you got that out of it. Me, I just am like, look,
Get back to the golf.
the Masters isn't on for another year, so
Give me my fix.
yeah, give me my fix. It's like, look, I'm glad that you enjoyed the Yuri aspects, but I am here, like any 55-year-old dad, I am here for the golf. I am here for the golf, and to be fair, the golf is like well shot. It's fun. You kind of like they do some like anime things to like sort of to kind of give you sort of an insight into the players' heads and everything, and that's always fun. But I was saying because it's kind of like Love Live where there's very few male characters. I would have loved it for the dub of Birdie Wing. They just got like famous golfers to do the voices, like in the Simpsons episode. Like they get like fucking Tom Kite.
They
They
get John Daly just doing like a background character.
John Daly.
And John Daly is the coach.
Yeah, John Daly as the coach.
You just hear fucking cigarette pickup.
Gary Player, Tom Weiskopf, those types.
Scotty Shuffler.
Scotty Shuffler. The 2024 Masters champion, by the way.
Wait, he's the champion?
Yep. Yeah, just get the mugshot bros in there. That'd be great.
Yeah, the mugshot bros. Eve needs a mugshot.
Like Eve would do like the Barbie one, like the Aunt Ken.
yeah, the Ann Ken one.
But, as far as ratings go for this show, because I think we kind of explained most of what we covered.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would put it at like I think I put it in A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, A tier.
I put it in A tier as well.
Put it in A tier, which is also fun facts. We have the voice actress for Kanata, Akari Kito, voicing Eve.
Oh
Which is
yeah.
weird to see her doing like the opposite of Kanata, a high energy, like impolite, brash character.
Yeah. Which
And
is
then we also have the voice actress of Hatsune Miku, Saki Fujita, being the Japanese caddy for. Like, Eve's
Amane.
caddy. Oh no, the other one. Like Ichika.
Is that Aoi's?
No, the girl that becomes Eve's. Once
Okay.
Once Eve goes to Japan.
Okay, that's Hatsune Miku?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, my favorite character in the show is actually Amane, who's Aoi's caddy. Because I think caddies are kind of underrepresented in like golf media of any kind, or just golf in general. But it was nice to see a caddy be like shown to be an important character, because caddies actually do a lot for their golfers. So it was actually nice to like get a caddy character, have like a full arc and play an important part in Aoi and Eve's story. So I thought that was great. And she looks exactly like Shioriko from Love Live Ninja Gasaki.
You you keep saying you need your own Shioriko Nesso now just
Yeah.
to be in your golf cart.
Yeah, and I was once, when we were at the turn at a golf course one time, I did like a pantomime with one of Hannah's Nezzos where I was like, what would it be like if Shioriko was actually my caddy? And it's like, Shioriko, I need my 9-iron. And then I had the Nezzo climb up the golf bag, slink out the 9-iron, put it on the ground, climb down the golf bag, crawl over, drag the 9-iron over, and then put weight on it to stand it up. It's like, that would be Shioriko as a golf caddy. But yeah, I was happy that they put Amane in that important story arc role. And yeah, A tier. I give it a complete A tier.
Yeah, A tier for me too.
Yep, like I said, I give it an A tier. Alright, what's next on the docket here?
Nico.
Oh, now we have Wake Up Girls, the
This
series.
is yours.
No, we did watch the first movie a few months ago that sets up the 12-episode anime series they had, which, gee, bold for an idol show to bring up 9/11.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the final episode of Wake Up Girls, they have this whole competition, like their own little Love Live thing.
Like, I won.
Like, who's gonna open up for, like, the AKB48 of this world, the I-1 clubs, the big unit of Japan.
And the
like,
guy who's in charge of it starts talking about,
like,
why
he does,
are idols important?
Yeah, just, like, his whole introduction speech to the competition, like, what does it mean to be an idol?
She's not making this up, by the way. Continue.
Yeah. Like, what is being an idol? It all begins on September 11th, 2001, when a tragic incident happened in New York City.
We're like, wait a minute.
Like,
I just saw in the subtitles, like, September 11th, 2001. Like, wait, what?
Like, oh, wait.
You're not gonna scroll past that.
you ain't gonna speed past that. Like, you didn't just say.
I think we paused and scrolled back a little
No,
bit because we all missed it.
wound the whole scene
Yeah,
to get the full
like,
context.
Yeah, we rewound it so I could just take a picture of that. Just the Wake Up Girls, like, anime girls just standing there with the subtitles say, on September 11th, 2001.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That you should post that to like some subreddit, like anime scenes out of context or something along those lines, just to see what kind of reaction you would get. I mean, because it's just it comes right the fuck out of nowhere, and I'm still not sure what his point was in bringing up 9/11.
I mean, I think if I'm remembering right, he said he wanted to have idols be a happy escape for those who were affected by tragedies. But I'm like, why
9/11?
Why did you 9/11? Why? That's not even your tragedy.
Hold up.
Could have just said Hiroshima, for God's sake.
How does this equal 9/11? Well,
He
Nico's a
was-
bad example.
Nico is a bad example.
For those who don't have visuals, he was holding up one of my Nico Yazawa plushies.
Here, we'll do a more wholesome one. No, this. How
No,
does...
Zombie's the wholesome one.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Don't you have one of them? Oh, wait. Oh, that's Spike Spiegel. Never mind. Okay.
How is Shiki gonna represent Shiki all the way the fuck up there, right?
Yeah.
How is that gonna represent being fed from 9/11?
Yeah. Nothing about that.
The-
Look at that face. Does that face say Osama bin Laden to you?
She's pointing the con at his face.
She's too EP. She'd miss the flight. Never mind. That's a bad joke.
Hey, she'd be like Seth MacFarlane.
So.
I mean, don't worry about making a bad joke. It's been 23 years.
Oh, yeah. I guess we missed the expiration date.
It's
but-
22 and a half years where it becomes funny. Thanks, South Park.
That's right. So anyway, with Wake Up Girls, to move past 9/11.
Yeah.
That's a
Also-
sentence.
Also, shout out to Wake Up Girls for having the darkest second episode of an anime ever.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to bring up. I really appreciate this show.
Showing the dark parts of the idol industry.
You better believe it, because like Love Live is basically a fairy tale.
Yeah, it's like
It's
Love
also
Live
safe for high school.
Yeah.
Love Live and Idol Master are just super idealized idol industry shows.
And that's why, and
like, only show the positives.
And I think that's why they're so popular, because it's like, wouldn't it be fun if you and all of your high school friends like got together and just made a
made a band and became famous.
Yeah, and it's perfectly fine that it's like that. I mean, look around your room. Obviously, obviously that plot worked.
We're in a room surrounded by Love Life.
We're all Love
And I have
Life
a corner
stands.
full of guitars.
Yeah, we're all Love Life stands here, so it's like we get it. We get why that's popular. Wake Up Girls kind of tries to look at more of the darker. It doesn't go full bore.
Yeah, I know we've talked about the first movie in one of the previous episodes. We've done like the movie pretty much ends with the president of the company just running away with all the money. So like they're not sure what they're going to do about their debut, but then just eventually they just come together and just do a little show. Like at some like little indie festival, and then the anime starts out where they all decide they really want to keep going with it. So eventually the main guy of the show that pretty much just gets like lumped into being their manager.
Yeah.
It's like he desperately tries to find somebody that knows what he's doing with their career, so he finds just some shady producer guy at the end of the first episode, where then episode 2, the shady producer guy pretty much just takes him to a men's bathhouse.
Yeah, it's like a sauna or something.
Yeah, where they're all just in like the skimpy white swimsuit, those white bikinis, where first of all, the youngest girl in the show is 13.
Yeah, and it's super uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, second episode is pretty much just them getting sexually harassed. Whole episode just until the manager woman finally comes back.
She comes back
and beats the shit out of the shady producer
that
guy.
was fun. That was fun to
like
watch.
The manager lady actually becomes one of the best characters.
She does.
In the end. She finally comes back and just takes the reins back.
Which she's not even hateable. It's almost funny how she drops out of the movie.
Yeah.
But like when she comes back,
she just says that I had to take care of my dog.
Yeah.
No other explanation.
So I appreciate the show because like let's be real, the pop industry is pretty exploitative.
Oh, yeah, we see that during those scenes where they show I-1 Club. It's like probably what they were trying to go for is probably AKB48. It's like the biggest idol unit in Japan.
Okay.
You know?
It was like don't.
It's like you are an idol first and foremost. Or they don't even call them by name. They just refer to the main guy in charge. Just refers to them as numbers.
Yes.
Or it's like they just have scenes where they're all practicing. And eventually he'll just stop and just point out one of them wasn't smiling. Like, okay, number 148, you're gone.
I mean, it's pretty much almost a perfect like opposite to Love Live, because it's like in Love Live you get to know these characters like so well. Like you get to know Haneo, Kotori, Nozomi, Nico, all of these characters you get to know so well. You learn all, and then like in Wake Up Girls, they just becomes so detached and depersonalized.
Yeah, I think they only ever show the names for I-1 Club, like the main four girls that they just sometimes do like little cutaways to.
Yeah, 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah.
But if I can talk about a funny moment I had from Wake Up Girls, I think it was when they were talking about the musician guy. Just to put a little brevity into this.
That one guy they bring in like.
The assistant. Sorry, I have a dresser behind me and everything full of shit. So they have like the second manager guy, which is the guy who got put in charge of the debut. He's like, and he just hears the door open. He's like, man, this guy, like the guy in the news, is just such a dick, right? And then he just turns and sees him in his office. He's like, oh fuck. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, I
made a mistake.
I remember that. I made a mistake. I remember that moment. But yeah. I guess my biggest gripe about Wake Up Girls, like, I think it's a well-constructed story. The songs are nice. Like, really in the moment. They're not terribly memorable, but they're good.
I mean, I do like that one song they do in the movie that they do in the anime too, like the Tachiagare.
Yeah, that's a good song, and there are good songs sprinkled throughout. It's just they're not as memorable as like something like Love Live, but I will say that
they kind of do the same thing Love Live did, where like when they win the competition, with the OP song.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't win.
I thought they did win. The
No.
Wake Up Girls.
No, they didn't win.
Wait,
that was how it ended. They did win the competition.
I remember them winning.
No, they won. Okay, I thought another group
I
won.
thought you talking about with Love Live, or in the first season they never win, but then the second season they do.
Yeah, same with Chica's group, like getting like no votes.
Yeah, go from 0 to 1, and then the school goes to 0.
Yeah, but in any case, where I think Wake Up Girls kind of falls a little bit flat for me is the fact that the characters aren't really all that memorable.
It's like the ponytail girl, I think her name's like Nanami, where they do nothing with her.
Yeah, like
Maybe,
some of the characters.
Like the only ones that get development are Minami, the little pigtail girl, and
Yappy.
Yeah, Yoshino, which is a fun fact, she's Bochi now.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
that was one of her first roles.
Yeah, the voice actress for Bochi, Yoshino Aoyama. She got her start in Wake Up Girls, voicing, funny enough, Yoshino.
Yeah.
Yeah, the funny part about Wake Up Girls is that to name the characters, they just did the voice actresses' first names.
Yeah. Yeah, which took me a bit to realize. But yeah, that's one of the things that I think Wake Up Girls is missing from being truly great, is the fact that its characters are just not that memorable. I mean, some of them are like we were talking about, Minami and Yappy are pretty good, but
Miyu kind of got some too. The maid girl.
Yeah, Miyu's okay, but most of them are just kind of.
It just seems like the one who got the most development, and like the one that kind of centers around is the XA1 girl or I1 girl.
Yeah, Mayu.
Yeah, Mayu.
Yeah. But she never really fulfills the main character role.
Yeah,
it feels like the series kind of revolves around her, even though it feels like she's like kind of like the least important.
Yeah.
But that would be my biggest drawback, because I
mean, there are 2 more movies and a season 2 of this too, so if we want to keep going with it.
And if it gets better, if the characters get more development throughout the movies and the additional show, then by all means I'll retract what I said. But right now I am in a room surrounded by Nezo berries of characters from Love Live. I can't imagine that any.
As far as I know, they didn't make Wake Up Girls plushies.
Yeah. And
when I've gone on Surugaya, I've only seen figures and concert merch. I haven't seen plushies.
Yeah, and the Love Live girls, you could do these sorts of plushies with. With the Wake Up Girls, not really.
I can kind of see what they were going for with the designs of Wake Up Girls, trying to make them a bit more realistic.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't give them rainbow hair colors or anything, but
Kotori's hair loop or Nozomi's big pigtails or anything.
Yeah, it's they did more realistic hairstyles and everything, but it's on the other hand, that kind of makes them more difficult to tell apart.
Yeah, the exaggerated character designs of Muse, Aqua, Nijika helps you remember them more. Yeah. To say nothing of their personalities, which are quite varied, and you have your
You have your gremlin, you have your
baby, you've got
your
group
eater,
mom.
Group mom.
You have
the no job.
Yeah, the no job. Nozomi ain't got no job, ain't get no pay. But so yeah, where I stand with Wake Up Girls right now, I give it a B tier.
Yeah, same.
So I guess that's the long and short of it of Wake Up Girls.
And now we go to Brain Dead Shonen in the world of fairy tale.
So this is this night has just been nothing, has been basically just me getting exposed to new, not new, but anime, anime, that are super, super popular, but I just haven't watched because I haven't had time to yet. And, our newest thing is Fairy Tail,
which came out in 2009.
Yeah, and looks. Can I say something real fast?
Let me preface this real quick by saying I'm the one who's showing them this, and I'm showing them by arcs. So I decided to make it more digestible that way, it'd be a lot easier for all of us.
So far,
and I appreciate
the first 10 episodes of Fairy Tail is what we're going to talk about today.
Let me kick this off right out of the gate. the animation reminds me so much of Soul Eater. Not that that's a bad thing.
It was around the same time.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I think they were the same year. And, like, I love Soul Eater, and so far I'm liking Fairy Tail. I'm just saying that the animation looks quite similar. Did Bones do Fairy Tail?
So.
Let me triple check because I think Bones was the first iteration of it.
Okay, because it looks so much like a Bones show that would have come out.
A lot of similar voice actors too.
Yeah,
I know Todd Havercorn voices Natsu in Fairy Tail, and I think he did Death the Kid.
Yes, he sure did, and he's my favorite character in Soul Eater.
Yeah. I have to rewatch Soul Eater sometime.
Soul Eater.
I saw it back in 2013 when I was in middle school.
Oh, it's an adaptation by A1.
Oh, A1 did Soul Eater?
No, A1 did Fairy Tail.
Oh.
Shit, you could have fooled me. No A1 shit. but
then they changed the studio bridge in the later series.
Okay. Well, I mean, it just looked like a Bone show to me. But in any case, before we get too deep into just talking about Soul Eater, talking about Fairy Tail, so yeah, considering that this is my first experience with Fairy Tail, Steven, I know, has seen like the entire show. Hannah, I think you've seen quite a bit.
Yeah, I've seen it as much as Steven showed me a Fairy Tale.
Yeah, I got her up to
like a third big arc.
The third or fourth arc.
So like 40 episodes.
No, actually no.
And even,
let me do the second.
I think
and
even
I'll be right
then,
back.
as we were watching, I think I was kind of half paying attention because I think that was around the time I had food poisoning.
Yeah, it was.
Ugh. Yuck.
Yeah, back around the end of March, me and Steven both got really sick.
I remember that. But
my poison was self-inflicted. Hannah's wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven just drank alcohol while on NyQuil and fucked up his liver. I ate bad pasta and was going out both ends for a few days.
Yeah, you guys were fucked up for a while. but
mine was the more stupid mistake because I could have died.
Yeah. To round it back to Fairy Tail.
I left Hannah off at like we probably started or halfway through the fifth arc.
So how many episodes?
60.
All right, we'll call it 60. So right now
I think I was mostly there
48.
just like as we were watching Fairy Tail stream. Like, when am I going to get to show you something next?
So where I'm sitting at with Fairy Tail right now, I'm 10 episodes in with Steven and Hannah. I gotta say, I like it. Like, I like the world building. I kind of like the sort of Fairy Tail group itself. I like Natsu. What?
The Fairy Tail group. Get it?
I mean, the show's called Fairy Tail.
I know.
The guild is called Fairy Tail.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the storybook, kind of the way it opens.
Oh, no.
So it's like a fairy tale to Yaley.
No, that's not what I was
Sorry, man.
doing. No, I'm not even mad. That just kind of went over my head.
Same.
But I like Natsu. I actually like Happy the Cat okay enough right now. I get that he probably
Much like Morgana, he becomes more of an asshole.
Yeah, and I'm
In fact, I just kind of hated Happy like around the time Steven was showing it to me just because like Lucy is doing her best. Why are you being such a bitch?
I do like Lucy.
No reason.
I
Oh, in the dub, it's Jeremy Lay who voices Lucy, who also voiced Makoto.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And in the Japanese version of Fairy Tail, you have Aya Hirano voicing her, who's Haruhi.
Oh,
Yeah.
we won't reopen that can of worms, but
I wonder if she was voicing her by the end of it.
I think she was.
well,
Is that
goddamn.
the one role she didn't get death threats for?
So to go back to Fairy Tail, I like the characters. I like the setting. I think the plot is easy enough to follow. Like I kind of like at this point it feels kind of Monster of the Week or like Villain of the Week sort of staging. But I think that works well for kind of the goofy, because it is kind of a goofy show.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting if it gets serious, sort of later on, but right now I'm having fun with it. Like I follow it easy. I think it's fun. I'm just looking forward to seeing like where does this build to, because I know Fairy Tail is a big show.
So it's just like it, I mean, to kind of do a little bit of where the arc is heading, it goes to a war arc because like all these shonen they have like a tournament arc somewhere in the middle of the series, and then they have a war arc in the middle of the next some type of series, or like a life and death situation, whatnot. And then because I know Fairy Tail's coming back in 2024, 2025.
I think it's summer 2024.
Oh, we're almost there.
So July.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Once the summer season ends in, and we're gonna get more Fairy Tail, it's gonna be neat. But as of right now, we're just building to. We're just trying to. In the first 10 episodes, we're just trying to get you introduced to like the guild as a whole, which I think it does pretty well.
Yeah, and I like all the different characters. Like I said, it almost has like a kind of it like the world almost feels like a split between like a Miyazaki world and almost like Trigun in a way. Like it's like
It could be what Mashimo is going for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the guy's a huge anime fan, and because like this feels like a mashup of a lot of different like anime fantasy worlds.
So, I remember when Akira Toriyama died. Steven showed me a tweet from the author of Fairy Tail that like his whole dedication to Toriyama just said, if Dragon Ball didn't exist, I wouldn't have created manga.
Yeah.
And he said, I am very sad.
Yeah, and gives you kind of a perspective of like where the guy who created Fairy Tail would be drawing from. So yeah, I like what Fairy Tail is doing. I just need to see more of it just to understand where it's going.
The next arc coming up is personally my favorite arc that Steven showed me.
Okay.
So get Gray's backstory.
The one where it actually made me cry.
Oh, okay. So have you seen all 300
I have,
some
yes.
odd episodes? Okay.
I have seen it. I have seen it all the way through once, and this is basically my rewatch.
Okay.
And so far with Fairy Tail, before Steven showed me it, I only knew Fairy Tail from. I mean, I follow a lot of other cosplayers on Instagram, and I know, like, when people like show like, what is your first cosplay? So I girls either cosplaying Lucy or Urza as like their very first cosplay when they were like 13.
I was gonna say
12.
being a con veteran for like 8 years.
Lucy, Urza, or that one blue-haired girl in like the winter clothes. Julia, is that her name?
Yeah, Juvia.
I have seen more than my fair share of Natsus in the wild. I've seen more than my fair share of Lucy's in the wild. So I get it. It's a big show. So right now, yeah, I would give the arc that you showed us a B tier only because like I don't have a wider context for the show. I'm just saying that I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Which is what I'm hoping to establish with it, which is like showing us arc by arc. Which is going to get really interesting in the later ones because they go from like maybe like 10 episode arcs, which is what I'm doing right now, to like up to 44 episodes is the longest one.
Wow. That sounds
and
like...
you're showing us it by cutting out the filler, right?
Yes, I am cutting out the filler.
Okay, good.
The Dark Tournament arc in Yu Yu Hakusho is about that long.
Yeah, I think the tournament arc in Fairy Tail is only long because I remember it being on hiatus for over a year during tournament arc.
So they were just trying to fill up time?
Yeah, they're trying to fill up time, spend the money that A1 had before they switched to the studio that went closer to the manga.
Okay.
Because A1 was taking a fuck ton of liberties with it.
Well, that sounds like A1. So yeah, I would give what I've seen so far, so this is an incomplete ranking, I would give what I have seen so far a solid B tier.
Oh, I'll let you go next.
Yeah, I'd give it a B tier too.
This arc I would give a B tier, but for the show overall, I'm actually completely spread on A and B, mainly because my own grasp with the show will be in later arcs, which I don't want to essentially go into, but I know a lot of people know Fairy Tail as powerfriendship.exe. Especially with some of the arcs in the middle of the series, so I'll wait for that to go through. But as of right now, we're gonna do the Frozen Emperor arc, and that's the name of the next one. So
how many episodes is it?
10.
10 episodes. Okay. Well, at least it's kind of chunked in a way that like.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that the pacing of this is actually pretty good up until you get out to the tournament arc, but the pacing for like the first half of this, because it's A1, is actually kind of decent.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. So yeah, I think we've said all we can say about Fairy Tail. I guess I like Natsu because he gets motion sickness, and that's kind of relatable for me.
That's so me for real.
Yeah, because I get motion sickness as well sometimes, so that's relatable.
Is Takanuchi your favorite from Komardi High School too?
Oh,
Name is Yutaka Takanuchi. I'm the boss of the first year class, and I get motion sickness very easily.
just give bro some Dramamine, he'll be okay.
But for me, my favorite character as of right now still is gonna be Gray.
Same.
Actually, I think it's Gray because even though I watched the entire series, it's still Gray.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think, I don't know, I guess I like Natsu the most so far. That might be, I don't know if that's like a controversial.
No,
pick.
it's probably
He's a
pretty
good boy.
basic.
Yeah, I mean, I like.
Even though the main character is Lucy,
Yeah,
which is kind of a weird thing to say. Even though Natsu has like 98% of the spotlight of the show.
I was gonna say Natsu was a
And
character who I knew about.
Yeah, Lucy
before.
seems more like the POV character, even though she's like with a POV character, but she's mostly focused on Natsu.
It feels like she's the POV character, and you're just watching a bunch of meth heads go about. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Fairy Tail's gonna be.
But to be fair, I do like Lucy.
Mhm.
I think she's a good character and everything.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
just I was kind of sideswiped when I found out that she was the main character rather than Natsu, because I've seen Natsu just everywhere.
I mean, as a guy who's watching the entire series, it actually kind of works.
No, I'm sure it works in context. I'm just saying that, like, from 8 years of going to anime conventions, you
get an
see
impression.
Natsu.
You get an impression, yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
you see Natsu basically
Yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, you're considering when you go to Anime Magic Inked that you might
Get-
get.
I
Natsu
might get
too.
the Fairy Tail brand right here.
Oh, nice.
Same place where Natsu has it.
That'd be
Because if
cool.
I did Gray, it would be right on the pectoral, and then
Yo, Jesus. We don't need you moaning and groaning the whole time in the hotel room.
yeah, and I gotta make sure I don't drink until I have to get the tattoo.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
that's
But-
gonna be after I get paid a lot. So.
But, so where we are with Fairy Tail right now,
We're only on the first 10 episodes.
so yeah, we'll say B tier right now. Catch us again.
It could go up next time.
Yeah. And with that,
We're going on to our last show that we need to catch you guys up on. It's Heather's pick that we watched a few days ago.
Heaven's Design Team,
Yeah.
which was a very, very cute show.
Yeah.
Like,
Very
just
cute.
And educational, too.
yeah, on how weird and fucked up nature.
Yeah. You know, it's like if any animal that we know of was built taller, like a bit differently, it would get osteoporosis and die.
Yes. Like the way the giraffe came about was initially just a deer with a really long neck that got osteoporosis and died.
My favorite part was learning how Anteater T poses when he's threatened.
Yeah.
I know that threw me for a fucking loop. I had like, wait, what? They actually do that? But yeah, basically the plot of the show is that God, the man
Yeah.
upstairs,
The Judeo-Christian guy.
yeah,
Yeah, he built everything else on Earth, but when it came to animals, he just had enough and decided to outsource.
he literally outsourced his creation of animals to
Like this group of like five or six angels.
angels whose
Well, no, I don't think they're angels. I think they're just because the angels are the ones, or the guy in the
I think-
suit and the girl.
I think originally they said they were angels and then gave them like normal like human names, and then just like around like episode 4 or something they decided for them like Neptune, Jupiter,
Yeah,
Pluto.
so you could essentially say that God outsourced the animal creation to the Roman gods.
which that's such a hilarious thing that the show does, that it's like it portrays God in like a respectful way. Like, it's not like bashing on
Yeah, it's
Christianity
like they
or
never
anything.
show God or anything, but they just like when one of the angels or lower gods or something just submits their design, God either says approved or just sends it back with criticism.
Yeah, and but to be fair, God is quite approving.
Yeah.
Like any design, he's just like, Approved. It's like
I think the only thing where he was really harsh, I guess, was that guy who was trying to make horse.exe.
Yeah. It's like the main leader of the group is this old man that he created horses, and then has just been riding that high ever since, and all of his other creations are just horses, but with slight variations.
He's basically the Mungo Jerry of the group.
He tried making unicorns, but made their brains so small that they were completely stupid and ended up dying.
And the horn snaps off.
Yeah, they would have got osteoporosis because it was too much calcium.
Yeah.
I think eventually he got narwhals approved because it was just a tooth.
Well, no, it was like the guy who was like the large guy who liked cute things and just went bink.
Yeah.
I need to go to the bathroom.
And then I think the only thing he got approved was like fucking seahorses.
Yeah, which they accurately describe what happens with seahorses.
I think the funny part is that the seahorses were just a clerical error.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, that's a better explanation than how seahorses actually evolved, which I think, like, there are so many animals in the ocean that their evolution is still just, like, scientists are like, I don't fucking know. Like sponges.
I mean, we're more invested in sending billionaires to go get compressed near the Titanic than actually trying to figure out sea life.
Yeah, which is so hilarious. But one animal I wish they had focused on was like sea sponges, because it's like sea sponges are a wild fucking animal if you actually read about them, because you could take a sea sponge about the size of this plushie that I got in my hand.
It's the Bochi in the dinosaur costume.
Yeah, you could drop it in a blender. If it was a sea sponge, you could drop it in a blender, blend it all up, and it would still be alive.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what? Sea sponges can... Basically, the only thing that can kill a sea sponge is, like, it being dehydrated, like being separated from water.
Well, then we're doing a pretty good job with that coral reef.
Yeah.
Because they're still underwater. Well, sure, I was like, let's just throw the batteries in there. Someone's gonna charge the electric eels.
Yeah. We're talking about sea animals and sea sponges and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because that was one animal that we wish, or at least I wish, that Heaven's design team had focused on, because that's a weird fucking animal. Yeah.
I mean, at least they did bring up the anglerfish at one point.
Oh yeah, the girl who's like this girl with like twin tails that like shaven twin tails like cut off like a very sharp angle. Like she was like, oh, I'll make it cute, and then makes the most horrendous piece of shit you've ever seen in your life. And it's real. Fucking koalas eat their own shit now. I know that.
Yeah, and you have like, so you're talking about the girl that we thought looks like kind of looks like Punk Rena. From Love Live.
Yeah, I think they call her Pluto.
Yeah, Pluto. Fucking Hades looking ass shit.
Oh, no wonder we stopped letting you be a planet.
Whole episode where God's whole mission for them is to create something that's cute but not cute, and it's like she starts like describing something horrible, or it's like it eats poison. It's like the babies eat their mother's poo. It's like it fights by making demonic noises, and then it's a koala.
Yeah, which, you know, actually the show is quite accurate.
Can we go back to Pluto though? Because she has an amazing fascination with the defecation of animals, which made me think certain things.
Yeah, she's obsessed with animals eating their own poo.
I thought she was a corpophiliac for like 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, stranger danger, stranger danger. But yeah, I thought it was really cool that this show like has so many like actual animal facts like in it. Like it almost felt like Zoo. Do you remember that show on PBS?
Zubumafu?
Yes,
yeah.
It reminded me of that.
That was one of my childhood shows.
Yeah, it reminds me of that, but in like a way that
it's like they even do like, I think probably like little in betweens, or there would have been like commercial breaks and stuff. They do like the real life animals, and like they have like two of the little characters and like a real picture of the animals.
Yeah. I mean,
giving like little animal facts.
That's what it reminded me of. It took me back to being a kid and just fascinated with animals, like, you know, the crocodile hunter and stuff like that.
This is definitely an anime. If if you want to show like a little kid an anime,
Definitely.
though this one doesn't have an English dub, so as long as the kid can read.
Yeah, I think it's a newer show. It's got to be newer.
I think it was like 2018, 2019, I think I saw on it.
Yeah, and like it's fun to watch because there's not really any like
no stakes in it.
No stakes, no heavy drama. It's more about like just
probably the most drama they ever get in is just one scene where like the panda episode where like they end up creating like too many pandas and like one of the big titty angel lady it's like gets all the pandas away and says like, oh, I put a curse on them, and then God says like, you put a curse on you used curse magic, you go to hell. Then she goes to hell for a bit, and then the episode just ends there, and then the next episode is like, did she really go to hell? It's like everybody's just all sad for her, and then she comes right back like, oh, I decided to go to hell on a business trip.
Yeah, she went to hell for a business trip, essentially.
Like, God did ask me why I used curse magic, but once I explained it, he said it was okay.
Which that
was the most drama there ever was in the show.
But yeah, it was like, as you're watching, you're kind of like, man, when's my favorite animal gonna be featured? Because it's like they have, you know, koalas, but I would have liked an episode on alligators or crocodiles or I don't know. I think
have, like the eye or something appear.
The what?
Like those like monkeys with the huge eyes.
Oh yeah, which I thought was like a rebus monkey. How do you say that name?
Let me show you a picture.
I almost said a pingus monkey.
I like the penguin episode. Now that you said pingus.
The penguins were fun. That was good.
These ones.
Oh, I know what I confused it for. A kinkajou.
Oh yeah, I think they did do those in the show.
Okay. Cause yeah,
the long-fingered lemurs are the ones I was talking about. The eye. Wikipedia describes them as long-fingered lemurs.
Yeah, and it was cool to see like a show be so honest about how weird nature is without getting without getting preachy or without getting.
It's like the guy that makes snakes and the girl that makes birds. Like they're both just at war with each other. Like the snakes keep eating my birds.
Yeah.
It's gonna make my birds weird like this so they can fight the snakes. And the snake guy's like, I'm gonna make my snakes like this.
Yeah, and it's funny to see because it's like it's breaking down just how weird nature can be. But like you could totally show this to like a kid, like a 6, 7, 8-year-old kid, and like especially in Japan, and they would get it. Like they would have fun with it. I think.
Can I also talk about a different dynamic I saw within the show?
Yeah.
Designers versus engineers.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, I side with engineers a lot more often because I'm working on a car. Because I'm like, I hate you designers. I hate you with a burning passion. Why did you put the starter under the locked wheel? Why do you have a thing that can rust easily out with a support beam right on top of it? I don't know. Why not? But when it comes to engineers, I'm like, I'm going to end you if you give me this stupid form again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like before the designers get approved, they bring it to this one girl that's an engineer, and she pretty much just builds the creatures and then sees if they die or not, and then just describes like what the problem was.
Yeah, who's a cool character, by the way. I really like her.
Also, I like how they have Galapagos as the testing grounds.
Yes, that was such a good, neat little touch. So I'll say
I also like how it has the contentious relationship between graphic designers and the clients. The angel's relationship with God is just that God just sends them an assignment, how I said before, I create a creature that's cute but not cute, and then it's like they
fucker.
Like they make something and then God says, no, more like that's not quite what I'm looking for. It's like, give me something to work with.
Give me a detailed guideline and we'll just do that.
Yeah, there's one of the characters is a guy that comes from hell that's trying to turn hell into a theme park.
Yeah.
And he gives such clear directions. The designers are like, thank you.
He creates like a base design for Cerberus.
They're
all just like, actually giving us something to work with.
I thought that was gonna lead into like, you know, a third of the angels following Satan. It's like, hey, this guy actually gives it. We're gonna go work for him now.
But if you rephrase it into them as like lesser Roman gods who's getting replaced by the Judeo-Christian god, it actually makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I suppose so. But here's what, and I need to ask you specifically about the designer versus engineer thing.
Okay.
Do designers, when they design something, do they assume that it will never need to be like rebuilt or like repaired? Because that's the feeling I get, like that something like that light bulb in your Volkswagen. Like, you remember that bolt that you had to get?
Oh, fuck. Oh yeah, fuck that. By the way, and
Yeah.
it turned out to be the things behind the light bulb just frayed out and just fell out. By the way.
So did you even need to replace the bulb?
Nah, yeah, but it's just like the connection kind of fell out too.
Okay.
I just got a thing on Instagram. Lizzie Freeman, the voice actress for Pomini, is coming to Peoria.
Oh, really?
Oh.
What day?
She's going to a little Peoria Con on July 13th through 14th.
Oh,
Little
cool.
con at the Peoria Civic Center.
Probably take Heather to that just to meet Pomni.
I'll probably do that too, since she's also in JoJo.
Oh,
trip.
that's right. That's
Group
right.
trip. But
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and Lizzie Freeman's also Sumire in the English dub of Superstar.
Nice. So,
But anyway, continue.
so my question is, because it feels like when you're grousing about your car, I mean, you know, German design, German engineering, whatever you want to say, but it feels like sometimes designers don't factor in like, hey, this shit might break, and we might need to repair it. Because that's like a lot of things. That
Okay, here's
they
the
expect it to be built once and never messed with again.
Here's the thing when it comes to designers versus engineers versus mechanics, because you're adding the third thing into the mix with this, with cars. Designers design the outside shell of the car, like how it's supposed to look. Engineers bash them in the head for it because they don't know where to put the engine. They don't know where to put lights, wires, how the aerodynamics are going to end up hammering out. So then the engineers rework it and then get it approved by designers again, and then they go out. Mechanics are the one who wants to beat the engineer in the face because I put the battery behind the left wheel well or something.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, so it's like engineers working within the parameters of the designers, and then the mechanics have to are basically catching the buck for all of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is why, like, say when I was telling this when I was like a few years ago working on my older brother's Intrepid for just trying to get it to not eat itself alive with the battery. That turned out to just to be a bad connection, but just getting to the battery, I had to jack the car in neutral, turn the wheels all the way to the left to go to the right side, and grab the battery out of the back compartment and get shocked like 8 times. Ooh. Yeah, it was a fun thing. I didn't know that battery still had charge to shock me with. Or the Imperial, where they put the battery right here, it's pretty nice. But you know what? They also have a dead generator. But you know what that generator still powers? The fucking lights. Because I put my arm on top of the relay machine, the relay section right next to the engine. That hurt.
Because
bastard.
I asked this because years ago, me and my grandfather, this was probably about, how long ago would this have been? Like maybe 10 years ago?
I know you were telling me this story like 2 or 3 years ago and you said it was 6, so maybe 8.
So let's just say 8 years. I don't think Hannah's heard this story before. But here's my grousing about designers versus engineers versus mechanics. I had to play mechanic one day to help my grandfather do a battery swap in my grandmother's car. He was like, oh, don't worry, this will be like a 30-minute job. 2.5 hours later, we're trying to get the battery. Because, Steven, let me explain to you how...
Was it just hooked in there in a weird way?
Let me explain to you where this battery was.
So, you told me where it was.
Yeah, it was down at the base of, like you pop the hood. The car was down at the base of, like, where, like, kind of the engine bay.
Just had to sift through a bunch of other stuff to get to the battery?
But it was bracketed. Like, it was bolted in, bracketed. It had, like, a tank. Like, it had the windshield wiper fluid tank was built in such a way that it had basically a flat part that like hooked into like a bolt up front. but it had like a deep tank that went all the way down. So it was like most of the fluid was like down in this like bottom tank. And then there was a crossbar over that. So it took, Steven knows my pain. So it took us.
I can imagine in my mind's eye. I just want to shoot myself right now.
Well, the way that we ended up getting that battery, because the battery was hooked in by like what it turned out to be was like 4 brackets. So it was like there were like the top brackets, that were protecting it, but then there were like bottom brackets that like fastened it in. And the way that we had to do it was we had like one of those long screwdrivers that like did like a 90-degree turn, so we could put it on the bolt and then turn it this way. I mean, it was just, that was my designer versus engineer versus mechanic thing, because it was like, and that's why I started this conversation the way I did, because it was like someone built this in a way where they never expected it to need to be repaired.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to designers, like, they have the world to work with. They have their imagination to work with. Engineers are kind of grounded in reality, saying, hey, A, B, and C won't work, and D, E, and F won't work. So how about we try H, I, J? And then you have the mechanics saying, they all didn't work. You guys fucked us over.
Yeah, because it's like, and I get it. It's now you saying that is kind of like, so the designers want to make everything cool and flashy. The engineers have to make things workable, and then the mechanics have to deal with like kind of the fallout of both of those things.
The way I had this explained to me before even cars was by I have a friend who's an architect.
Okay.
And they have the designers want to design all these cool looking buildings with all these swoop stuff and all like these curves and such.
Yeah.
And the engineers are like, that's not going to hold them to weight, right? That's why all of our buildings look like fucking rectangles, because that's the most solid building you can get with the high, with how high they want to make these buildings.
Yeah. And I mean,
like the only place that doesn't apparently follow this rule of physics is Abu Dhabi, and if you've seen those buildings,
yeah, like those will even be livable in like 10 years.
I don't even know. But when it comes to cars, which is I think the most kind of equal design I can say to this show, it really just is the design. This is basically just is focusing on the designers, but it just makes me want to just cap myself, because I know I'd be the engineer or mechanic on the next set.
Yeah, you would have to be the one who'd have to put a giraffe together.
Say, let's just, I'm gonna bring it back to the Imperial, right? Who in the ever-loving hell decided they want to put the AC unit this high up in the fucking engine bay, right?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me.
And who actually made it so I had to connect everything to the fucking carburetor for it to work?
Yeah, like, in Steven's Imperial, I've helped him work on it. Like, there will be just weird, complex things for, like, these very important, like, or not even, like, really important, but, like, important enough, like, mechanical devices
we
and
haven't
everything.
We haven't even gotten anything electric to the fucking starter yet. Was the bad part.
But then you'll see, like, the battery, the place where the battery, because I was grousing about the battery in my grandmother's car, the battery for this is literally just, like, a plank of wood.
It's a metal tray with the rubber top, because the metal's starting to rust away, and it's held down by a plank of wood.
Yeah, it's the most, how do you have this dissonance?
The thing is that when you started talking about the windshield wiper fluid container, did you know in the 50s they didn't have plastic as widely available as they do today? So it's it's a leather fucking bag they hold this shit in.
Get the fuck out of town. No. Leather?
That kind of crumpled bag thing you see in like in the driver's side left, like near the firewall. Yeah, that's where you put the windshield wiper fluid in, and it's a leather bag. I'm 98% sure if I try to fill that thing, it's just gonna leak.
So, getting back to Heaven's design team, since we
from this giant tangent, which is actually which was my basis of understanding. I'm not gonna lie, this tangent needed to happen. Yeah, no, I had fun discussing our car woes together. But in any case, because it looks like we're starting to run out of time here, just to give our ratings real fast, I would give Heaven's design team a very solid B tier.
Yeah, I'd give it a high B tier.
B tier as well.
Yeah,
I feel like it didn't really change our lives or anything, but it was a very wholesome, nice show to watch.
Very funny, very educational, actually,
Yeah.
which was surprising. If you have, God forbid, any of our audience
a
has
few hours to kill.
Yeah. If
Wait,
any
Yeah,
of our audience,
if you have 4 hours to kill and you don't know what show to watch, go for this one.
Yeah.
or if
Also, any Vocaloid fans, like the people that cover Vocaloid songs, Kuro Neko did the opening. There's somebody that's an Utaite who's known for doing vocal covers of Vocaloid songs.
Yeah, the OP was actually was lovely. I liked it.
Yeah.
So with that, I think we're out of anime to talk about.
So unless we have any
I'll
things
let
to end on.
Yeah, I'll let Steven wrap us up, and then we'll...
I guess I'll start doing housekeeping. As you've probably heard from the car woes section, not even like 5 to 10 minutes earlier, I'm still working on that Imperial. So as of this is a rumor going around, but as early as July 2024, car companies are putting in their new cars systems to prevent speeding. Sounds like a good thing, but it really just takes away the freedom and maybe some necessity from the common person who probably doesn't like to be told how fast they're going. So they're gonna put that in, which gives me an impetus to start working on the Imperial even harder. So if you guys would like to donate to the Imperial, the GoFundMe link is in the description. I know there hasn't been anything on there. I am working on a video collaging everything that I have and doing a giant update video for the GoFundMe there, because they only accept YouTube video links for some reason. I can't do like in-home computer updates with that, which is kind of off. So I'm working on a video updating that, saying what happened and where we are now. I wish I still had and introducing cost sheets and keeping everything transparent, so that's what I'm doing right now. Also in the description, if you don't want to donate to the car, we have the off the balcony. I'm working on creating an off the balcony specific Venmo to do our stuff with, because I realize having my own personal Venmo attached is going to get some kind of wonky stuff when it comes to tax season. Therefore, I'm going to make an off the balcony Venmo for us to support us.
Try to turn us into an LLC.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Maybe so I can put the Imperial stuff on a LLC bracket or something. I'm not sure. I'll see what's happening. But having an off the balcony itself business Venmo will be the better idea, so I can keep my personal and business expenses separate. Would be a great idea. We also just have I have been floating an idea. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments or message me directly. I've been floating the idea of making ourselves like a Patreon. If you guys would like to see that, just shout out in the comments. Maybe I'll float everything towards the Patreon, so that way it will go towards the car no matter what, or go towards our business expenses such as Adobe subscriptions, updated too. If you guys would like to see that and would like to help me do some with the tier list, feel free to email us at offthebalcony21@gmail.com. Just put in the subject line Patreon tips or something like that. Also, if you guys would like us to watch some certain anime or go over a certain subject in the anime community, please email us again offthebalcony21@gmail.com. So that way and just put in the line anime community, anime shows to watch. So that way we can go ahead and maybe watch and review those in the future.
Oh yeah, and I can tell the crowd what future cons we're going to be at.
Yes, future cons. We will talk about our future cons as of now.
Yeah. And me and Steven are going to be at Anime Midwest July 5th through 7th, and Wade will be there too, but we'll be doing our own things there.
And we will all be together at Anime Magic, which is also at end of August at the same place that they do.
30th, 31st, and September 1st are the days for that.
Yep. At the same place they do Anime Midwest and ASEN.
We're all going to be together for that one.
Yep.
And also at the end of July, I think it's at the very last week of July, is Anime Iowa, which me and Steven are going to that alone.
Yeah.
We're going there as a con guest, so if you want to say hi, just come to us. It's fine.
So we decided to go to that, but when we discovered that con was happening, it was already past the panel submission date, so we're just going on our own. We're not hosting panels or anything, but
feel free to say hi.
Yeah, we'll be there.
All right.
And then for the fall, definitely know we're going to Anime Nebraska because we got invited.
We did get invited, and we'll also be going to
Anime Magic Inked.
which is like the
It's half anime con, half tattoo con, which we're thinking up some more 18 plus panels to do for that one, since it seems like more of an adult oriented con.
yeah, and
I mean, you have to be 18 to get a tattoo anyway, I think.
Yeah.
which we're looking forward to that because it's in the same place. Like, kind of the Hyatt Regency O'Hare has kind of become our second home
Yeah.
in a sense. So we always love going back there, even though.
I mean, that's where we got our podcast name.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we sure did. You know, look out for us at any of the usual cons, and we will see you down the road. We had a really fun time talking anime with y'all.
Yeah.
So, are we gonna sign off now?
I think so.
I
I
think-
don't think we have anything else to
All
talk
right.
about.
Thanks
Yeah,
a
we're done.
lot. Good night, good luck, and all that fun jazz.
Bye.
Stay frosty.